Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. All right. Want to start with the short of the day before we really start digging deep into the conversations and topics at hand. So, when you come in, make sure you hit that like button. If you are part of the replay gang, don't forget to hit that like button. We're going to get into it. Okay. So, let me just play this short.
If a man asks me for my number, I'm gonna give it to him. I don't care what he look like. And if I don't like him, I'm gonna throw an extra razzle dazzle in there and be like, yeah, make sure you text me right now or in the next 5 minutes, but don't play with me. Y'all act like the block button don't exist. Do y'all know there are men out here unaliving women because they don't want to give their number up to these men? Baby, I don't care what you look like, how aggressive you came at me. You about to get this number. I was at the gas station and tall dude with dreads walked up to me and said, let me get your number. Not asking me, can he get my number? No, baby, he demanded it in a nice way. And even though he wasn't my type, I still gave him my number and smiled and said, make sure you text me in the next 5 minutes. Don't play with me. And he walked off smiling. Okay. I love my life. I love my future. I love my purpose. And I'm not going to allow pride or ego to get the best of me in that moment.
Is it? Okay. What this woman is doing is, simply put, she's creating hysteria. She's creating hysteria in the dating market. She wants to just instill like, oh yes, it's you think this is a game? You think this is a game? She's trying to put that into women's heads, that men are, at a base level violent, and they get violent immediately when they don't get what they want. That when a man propositions you, or when a man, asks for your number or something like that, that this is a life or death scenario. He's basically holding a GUN to you and say, get that up. And you, of course, so you're never going to form a healthy relationship if you take that outlook on it. And she don't want others to form healthy relationships, to be perfectly honest. This is just another method, tool, technique that they use to try to sabotage the dating market. It's the same as those women who go to the gym, doing vagina presses, in front of all the guys. And if some guy look, they put them on YouTube. It's like, really, if this woman was truly afraid, then why would she give a scenario, a very specific scenario? Like, wouldn't a unaliver be out unaliving somebody who blasts them on the internet? Like, if they do that for women who don't give up the number, what do you think they do to women who broadcast their business on the internet? So once again, this is just another like that chick that walked down the Harlem street, and even though you heard like a couple of guys yell A or something like that, she claims that it was 100 guys in 10 hours, but you only got like 15 minutes of footage, like that chick. This is just another form of that. Hit the like button. We're going to go into it today. Okay, so that covers the short of the day. Now, I want to talk about swirling and what it is and the deception behind it, particularly to non-Black men. What swirling is, it's not interracial dating. It's interracial dating with malicious intent. I'm going to repeat that. Swirling is interracial dating with malicious intent. Now, that intent could be the intention to just, I want to get into Black men's head. That's one. Like, oh yes, look at me, Black man, look at me. I'm so happy. He's getting what you want, but you can't have, or whatever they're doing. That's malicious intent. It's not intended to make one happy. Its intention is to either make one happy at the expense of others, or to just not make anybody happy. Well, maybe yourself. But it's not well intended. It's not when a regular interracial person gets together, or people get together. They, a young black girl or an older black woman. She sees a non-black man that she likes, and maybe she preferred black men, but the circumstances, he was the right guy in the right place in the right time, and they get together and they get married. Not to say nan nana boo boo to black men, they just so happen to have fallen for each other. That's interracial dating. Swirling, there's always somebody that is at least attempting to be made miserable. Once again, interracial dating is just for the happiness of those who are in the dating, are mating, or relating. Swirling always has a malicious intention behind it. Who's the malice towards? That's yet to be seen, but we're going to explore that. That's something that white men need to know, and really just non-black men need to know about swirling before they consider doing it. Not before you consider interracial dating, but before you consider swirling. You have to look at certain things. One of the things that you have to look clearly at is she weaponizing your relationship against other groups of people or another person? If she is, then she is a swirler. Now, you may think that, okay, doesn't really matter to me if my significant other wants to make black men miserable because I'm not a black man. Your son will be. Let's start there. Let's start there. Your son will be a black man. And you have made the mistake of linking up with somebody who, for whatever psychological reasons, want to make black men's lives miserable. Yeah. So no matter what, it's a bad endeavor right there. But let's dig deeper. Misery loves company. That is the truest wisdom that anybody can say ever. Misery loves company. If a miserable person is seeking company, meaning that she is trying to make others miserable, hit the like button. Then that means that is her personality type. She is going to attempt to make others miserable. She is only happy when others are miserable. Now, take this king of queens situation. Or excuse me, this queen of kings situation. That is a telling name. I don't know the details of what's going on, but they are a interracially married couple. She claims that her black baby daddy left her in the gutter literally, and this white guy picked her up and he was her hero and stuff like that. And then they had, I think it was like 2 or 3 kids together, and everything looked perfect. She was fit, feminine, and friendly, at least so they appear. And, he was a high value man. So everything seemed to have worked out perfect, and everything seemed too good to be true. But reality struck. And it struck, oddly enough, it struck right around the time that she cut her hair. Now, this isn't a swirler thing. This is a black woman thing. Black women have this, many black women, they have this strong desire. Hit the like button. They have this strong desire to convince the world that the world itself embraces the worst part of black women. I'm going to repeat this. They want to convince the world that the world embraces the worst aspects of black women. What are some of their worst aspects? 1, they don't have no damn hair. That's the worst aspect of any woman, not having any damn hair. So what she wants to do is she wants to be seen being embraced by a white man while not having hair. So she marries a guy with hair, full head of hair. Let's get married, blah, 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 blah. And then as the relationship progresses and she gets more secure in it, she decides to do the big chop and go full Grace Jones. Red flag. It means that she is now going to start to, she's now going to start, what's the word I'm looking for? She's now going to start with the sister girl routine. She's now going to start to test her boundaries within the relationship. Yeah, not a good sign. And then recently, at least according to O'Shea's channel, the guy was arrested for family abuse. He was like locked up for 30 days, and apparently they're back together. I'm on their site now, and it looks like they are having family dinner, but these are huge red flags. Okay, so now that we got that covered, and trust me, I'm going to go deeper into the Queen of Kings. So trust and believe on that. But what I want to do is, for a second, for a moment, I'm not going to talk about swirling without talking about the quote unquote girl who swirls, the queen of swirling. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ignore Crystalline Karazin, or AKA the Pink Pill, because there's several things I want to address. Now, Pink Pill has malice towards Black men. And she also seemed to have malice towards white men. Understand this, white guys. Black men are prepared. We have intimate knowledge of their deceptions. You guys don't. We were raised by them. As children, we heard our mothers' conversations with other women. We know exactly what they want to do, and many of them see marriage as only a means to an end, and that end is to get more means. Period. It's a means to an end, and that end is to get more means. That's how they view marriage. That's how they view relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She's even said this. Now, she gets rid of all of her stuff from time to time, but she's even said this. She talks about how she secured herself financially into the thing, so when she divorces, she will be well off. She often uses terms like live well. In fact, it's even in her intro, her music intro, live well with the pink pill. That's really her. It is a financial grab. And Black men have come to this realization. It's in their music. It's in their behavior. We've seen our fathers deal with mothers and stepmothers. We've seen it all. Are we seeing our mothers take dudes to the cleaners financially? We've seen it all. But they haven't. So these guys feel like they're getting something new and special, just like the dude from, I don't know his name, but the dude from Queen of Kings. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just getting a deal. I am just taking one man's trash and turning it into my treasure. Now, in some cases that may be true, but not in this particular case. You have to stop and ask yourself, why is it that she is this man's trash? So now Queen of Kings is putting him through the ringer. Crystalline Karazin had her her first divorce recently, and now she's working on her next dude. And we are going to discuss that in somewhat detail. I'm not gonna make that the whole video, but we're definitely going to discuss that. What I need y'all to do is hit that like button as I prepare to do that. Now, let's see. All right. So she was on the Whatever podcast. And somebody Zone sent it to me. Salute to him. And I was going to go through a couple of key points because they're just like 8 hours long. So full disclosure, I never seen an entire episode of the Whatever podcast. I've seen clips. I think that the clips are good. I just never had the 8 hours to sit through an entire one. I'm going to show y'all something, and this is going to sound bad, but understand that I've never seen it all the way through. So here, let me. Okay, I'm going to play the first part. I'll show you exactly why I had this problem.
Welcome to the Eating Talk podcast.
Until I watched this episode, looking for clips, I didn't know she was human. I'm going to repeat that. I did not know that she was a human being. I thought that she was a doll with the hat on. I thought she was like a doll or a mannequin or something until I seen this and she's standing up and breathing and stuff. But before that, she would just like sit in the back and just like slightly move from time to time while I watched like a 37-second clip. It's like, oh, I thought that was a doll. I literally thought she was a doll. Because that's what she does. Like I skimmed through this and that's what she does during the show is sit there like a doll. And that says something. What does that say? That says that they recognize the value of physical beauty. So they hire somebody who is their definition of physically beautiful, and trust mine too. And they post her up. They like, listen, we're going to pay you to sit here. Here's money. She was not born in 1975. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Here's money. Sit. And that's what she does. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the seating arrangement while I go to my first timestamp. Let's see, 6:49. All right. Well, I go to my timestamp. I'm gonna point out something about the seating arrangement. Give me a second. All right. Here, let me just go to 6:04. Okay.
If you're looking to,
because they understand the value of beauty, like many shows like this do, and like pretty much everybody in the world do, except unbeautiful women who have the option to become beautiful.
Hello, my name is.
Okay, so right now they're doing their intros and all that good stuff. It does seem like with variations that they are going from hottest to nottest. I'm going to repeat this. These women are seated from hottest to nottest. One more time. The women are seated from hottest to nottest. Now, with variations. Here you have woman, decent face, completely unblemished, blue eyes, nice titties. This one, blonde, same, features and stuff, slimmer face, no titties, but still pretty. And then this one, she's going for the gothic look. You see where I'm going. The first 5 are clustered together. The first 5 are slim white women with a pretty face. This one doesn't have blue eyes. The rest, I can't make out hers, but there is a type going on, and that type is clustered together. Now, where does Crystal and Karazin fall in this cluster? Well, like I say, they're going in order. They're going in order from hottest to nottest, reasonably speaking. So Here's a biggin. Here is a begon. She is a biggin. And she is still closer to the right than Crystal and Karazin. You see? Now, I know what you guys are saying. If they're going from hottest to nottest, how do you explain her? How do you explain this blonde woman who seemed to be of a B cup or such? Easy. She's pregnant. So, on a show where they cluster women by beauty, Crystal and Karazin finds herself in the middle between an overweight white woman and a pregnant white woman. I can't make this up. I didn't seat these women. They seated themselves. All right, so let's see what she has to say when it's her turn to introduce herself.
Just a question. Are your glasses, are they prescription?
They are.
Okay. How bad's your vision?
I think it's bad. I can't drive without them.
Okay. Just wondering. What about you?
My name is Chris. I am 51. I was born in Los Angeles, grew up in Lancaster, and settled in Temecula.
Mhm.
I am a content creator. My umbrella company is called The Pink Pill. I have a channel called that name and courses, and I've also launched a body care.
Y'all see why I thought she was a doll? Y'all see why I thought she was a dog? She's just gonna do that. She does that a lot. So like when I watch little clips like this, I was like, oh, they got a realistic looking X doll in the back.
A company called Water Body Care,
And
also the co-author of Swirling. I gave that to you earlier. That I gave
the book. Yeah. Thank you.
I signed it.
What is, so what's the book?
Swirling: How to
I signed it.
Date, Mate, and Relate, Mixing Race, Culture, and Creed. It's all about interracial relationships from a Black woman's perspective.
Okay. Well,
Look at the look on their faces.
we'll certainly get into that a bit later on in the show. And then, are you the one in like the YouTube chat? I sometimes see the Pink Pill. Is that you?
That's me.
All right. So
That's
you're
me.
one of the chatters. All right.
Yes.
Very cool. Very
And
cool.
shout out to the chatters. I told
Shout
them
out to the chat.
I would shout them out.
Boom.
Hey guys.
What about you?
My name is Alexis. I am 34 years old. I am a full-time stay-at.
Okay, so they were eager to just move on to the next person, as am I. So wanted to point out the seating arrangement with that one. She looks like a doll. It's crazy. She looks like a doll. All right, and let's see, 21 minutes. I think this is where she starts to talk about Kevin Samuels. So, oh no, this one is something else. My bad. So I think this is where they talk about relationship status, and we're going to get into hers because there is some hypocrisies going on here that we definitely have to cover. I hate that. I think I paid so I don't get commercials, but I get these, which are not commercials, but it's still an interruption. Well, of course they dismissed her.
Kinda
Listen,
helpful.
this is a show.
Yeah.
This is a show that values beauty. Crystal and Karazin, with all of her nip and tuck, is beautiful for a 51-year-old Black woman, which is not the greatest compliment because you're dealing in it's like winning this Special Olympics as a not special person. It's like those guys that join female wrestling and just beat up everybody. It's that type of victory. Listen, you are dealing in a race of women who are grotesquely overweight. So just by being a healthy weight, which you got through liposuction. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Crystal and Karazin had liposuction. So if you didn't know it, she had liposuction. Crystal and Karazin had liposuction. The woman that you know is the Pink Pill. also known as crystalline kerosene, had liposuction. So she got her way through liposuction, which many Black women her age do, but they refuse to because they feel that there's some type of honor in fat. She puts herself above Black women, or above average Black women, and that's 51. However, look at all the women here, save the pregnant one and the overweight one. Look at all the women here. That's just their shape. So you don't stand out in this particular crowd.
He sees them when he can.
How many kids do you have?
One.
Just one? Okay. All right. Who initiated the
Thing.
My longest relationship was for 20 years, over 20 years. I was married and divorced, and I recently got a promise ring.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Holy crap. Fellas, listen to me and listen to me good. Ladies, listen to me and listen to me good. You should not be getting promise rings at 51. What a promise ring is that I promise I don't want to be engaged with you at 51. It's I promise I do not want to be engaged with you right now. What it's saying is, I don't want to marry you, but I want to keep your company. It's part of the string along process, basically. It's part of the string along process. I'm going to string you along for a long period of time. So this is making a longer string. Engagement, engagement ring and then wedding ring, that's too short of a string. I want a third ring like the precious in order to string you along longer. Young men give promise rings to secure a relationship because they can't afford marriage, weddings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, okay, here's a promise ring that I got from the pawn shop or some crap like that for $130. Once I graduate med school, then I will really, give you that true engagement ring and the big wedding where, I dance with your mama and you dance with my father. I'm going to do it all. That is to preserve time so he can get his money right. At 51, that is just a fake thing. He's just trying to prolong the situation until, he's like, okay, finally, I'll marry you. Sign here, here, here. Prenup, prenup, prenup. Or, he's going to, or he's going to wait till he's about to die. To be perfectly frank, but he's just trying to milk it as long as he can. The single status as long as he can. We'll get into that.
Congratulations.
How long you
Shout
been
out
in
to
your
my
current
baby.
relationship?
Next month, it'll be a year since we met.
Any kids?
With him? No.
No.
Since we met, not since we, were together. See, she's wanting to make the relationship sound more legitimate. So she says stuff like, she's adding time to it.
Or just in general?
In general.
Yes, I have 4.
4 kids.
Yeah.
Same father?
No, one of them is with someone different.
So 3 kids from one father, 1 kid from another
Yeah.
father.
Mhm.
But none from your current 1-year relationship.
No, I'm 51. That's out of the discussion.
I mean,
No,
never know.
yeah, no, we're done.
How old are the kids?
My oldest is 26. Then I have a 21, 19, and 15.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And married just one time?
Yes.
All right. Who initiated the divorce?
It was mutual.
Mutual.
It was.
Mutual.
I mean, it was he said,
Now, I got to go into this. Y'all may not know this, but I was on her show one time and she's seen the show I did. And when I was like, I'm pretty sure that he divorced you over the crazy crap that you do and the dishonest crap that you do. Now, when I went on her show, she was like, oh, no, you're wrong about that. You were so wrong about that because I divorced him. But now it's mutual. You see, the circumstances of divorce changes to her convenience. Oh, no, it was mutual. It's like, wait a minute. I gleaned that he divorced you. You stated that you divorced him, that you left him. Now it was mutual. So now she has the perfect divorce where two people just at the same time just say, you know something, I think it will be in both of our best interests if I just suck different penis and you just stick different vagina. Like, I think that would be better. Like, no. She's going to describe this as the perfect divorce because she's trying to sell the concept of black women to white men. That's why she's on this show. She's trying to sell that concept of black women to white men, and she's not going to do that telling the truth about how awful the divorce is. And she knows it's bad on either end. It means, if she left him, then, it's bad because if you marry a black woman, then she can leave you at any time, just like any other woman. And leave with funds. She knows it's bad if the guy left because it's like, dang, you are so intolerable that I had to leave. So she's going to go down the middle and say, oh yes, this is what happened. It was just like a perfect split. And I hooked him up with my sister who's younger, hotter, sexier, childless. So, because that's how black women divorce. It was just a perfect split. Let's see what the chat room has to say during this madness. All right.
go ahead and file a similar story as my neighbor here. But it was definitely mutual and also very amicable eventually. We lived 3 miles away from each other.
It was also very amicable. You see this? She's trying to sell the concept of black women divorce.
We co-parent pretty well.
And did you receive child support
No.
from either of the two fathers?
50-50.
50-50. So no child support from.
Did you receive child support? Oh no, we do 50-50. Perfect divorce. Perfect divorce.
Either of the two fathers?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's a 50-50. But
Sure.
with the first child, yeah, I did receive child support. But she's now almost 30. So that's been done a long time ago.
So basically she said, oh yes, I got child support from the black guy, but we don't do that to white guys.
First child, that was the one child that you had with just
Yeah.
and then you had 3 kids from.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. What about you?
I am married. I have my longest relationship would be, I think, 11 years.
Is that your current?
That's my husband. Yes.
Okay. All right. Kids?
Okay, so that one is that one. Now I'm going to move to the 1 hour mark where she talks about Kevin Samuels. And this is when she had time to get comfortable and stuff starts. She starts to show who she truly is.
I've got the
That he deluded a lot of men into thinking that they were high value. I don't think high value was actually described specifically. It was described as a financial marker and
Do you
also
really think
like
so?
your
You
net
think
marker.
Kevin
No, he
Samuels
said,
was?
yes, he did. He said a high value man is somebody who has.
Okay. It's his term to coin. I repeat, it's his phrase to coin. So for her to say, like, first of all, she didn't say that he misdefined high value man. but he got men thinking that they are high value when they're not. And that's a bad thing, according to her.
Who makes over $100,000 or more. He has a network, and it has to be like for a few years. He has to have a good network, and he's got to be settled. Like, those were the main things. He didn't really talk about character, and there would be a lot of times where he would say, he actually invited me on the show. I've actually I knew him personally, just just through circling the drain with other folks, and unfortunately not part of the
I'm interested because I used to love watching Kevin Samuels' videos, the way that he would get these black women on the show, and they would be, and he would have these arguments with them, because it's such a different sort of world, the sort of African American culture, because we don't have that in Australia at all.
What he means by that is, I don't want to visit your world. Don't get me wrong, there are different worlds out there. And Passport Bros want to explore different worlds, different cultures, different, things. Nobody really wants to visit our world. What she's trying to do is she's trying to turn it into she wants people, men with the Passport Bro mentality, to consider coming to the Black community for Black women. But the understanding of that world is not something that's enticing. You're 51 and dating. Who wants that? Oh, and by the way, everybody else has their own hair. Nobody wants in the world. Like, it's nothing but white women and whatever she is, but I like it. It's nothing but, and of all the people there, men and women, you're the only one with fake hair.
Particularly about it, did you feel like he was deluding men about? Because there is an element of having resources that does make a guy high value. I don't really particularly like that term, but I think that if a man develops resources, it is a very positive thing for his perspectives in the dating market.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to give me more on that list than just that he makes six figures.
Well, Kevin's.
Who's trying to give it to you? Who's trying to give it to you? So now keep in mind, this is the woman that says live well, meaning that you live a life of economic prosperity. She also talks about like struggle love, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So she do understand the importance and the value of money in a relationship, of a man's wealth and income in a relationship. She understands that. She just don't like that Kevin Samuels was saying that. And now listen to what she's going to say.
Samuels was also an image consultant. So he talked about dressing really well and carrying yourself well, having a network of other men and having purpose and drive. And
so six figures, he can wear a nice suit, and he has some friends. That's supposed to be something that I'm supposed to use.
But what would you, if
she's moving the goalposts?
If you had to say, if you were in his shoes, then what would you encourage?
I would focus more. First of all, what I think. So if I'm going to be fair, there were a lot of women on the show that came on delusional, but I'm not going to pretend that Kevin Samuels did not feed into the delusions.
That's diverting from the question. The question was, what would you say to men if you had to give them the advice?
Oh, about what?
The question was very clear. She's annoying.
Yeah.
About what a high value man is?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing I would say is that it starts with your character. The nature of a true man is
Kevin
not,
donated $28.
Go on, keep going.
The measure of a true man is not that he is never afraid. It is that he is afraid, or it may be hard, whatever.
This is not making any damn sense. None of it has to do with Kevin Samuels.
A task, and he'll do it anyway. That is what a man is.
Stoic.
That's someone who has character, someone who has a
Discipline.
strong cornerstone of beliefs and values. They are thoughtful. They are respectful of others. They cultivate.
When she sells the concept of white men to black women, none of these characteristics come out. When she sells the concept of this of white men to black women, it's always the same things that Kevin Samuels talk about. This is just her way of saying that Kevin Samuels is wrong. When Kevin Samuels say, these are things that women value from men, 6-figure, well-dressed, well-connected, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When he says that, she's like, no, he's wrong. He's wrong. No, we value character. Press the @ symbol in the chat if you ever seen a Kevin Samuels show and they were asking for character. Like the women on the show was asking, how can I find a man with character? She is making this crap up. And press the $ symbol if you ever heard Crystal and Karazin say that they should get with white guys for character. Yeah, now she's just making it up. This is ridiculous.
Their leadership skills, but they also know how to follow other people and take instruction from other people. They know how to choose friends.
She is just changing the definition of high value to, a person who
They know how to
who
choose
knows how to
women.
follow instructions and character. Keep in mind that all these things is something a man can lie about easily. She is just she's off the rails with it. Just trying to prove Kevin Samuels wrong.
They
Okay, so
inspire. They
we'll just-
inspire other men
We'll
to
take
be
it a
better.
little bit slower.
Mhm.
So, a guy who's got character and he's able to. What did you say? First of all, you said he's able to get things done, even if he doesn't
Yeah,
he
no,
doesn't
what I
always
said-
have to feel like he's not scared. He can.
The measure of a man is not that he doesn't get scared. It's that he feels the fear and does it anyway.
Okay, cool. What were some of the other ones?
The
That's what makes a man high value.
other ones was that he knows how to choose good friends. He knows how to
Friends?
choose
He's
a
got some
good
friends. Okay.
woman. He's
Women.
respectful of others. He's
Respectful.
mindful.
What were some of the other ones?
Let me see what some of these chats said.
The other one,
For whatever reason, the chat isn't showing here, but I want to see what the chat. Oh, here it is. Okay, finally. Somebody said, turn her mic off. TF is happening. RN. Like, Red Pill Movement is dying. Okay. Be a leader, but be a little follower. Yeah, she is just full of crap. This chat just is seeing right through her BS. I'm assuming that this audience is white guys. None of them are saying, ooh, I want some of that chocolate. None of these guys are being sold on this idea. It's wrong, simp, follow, This is why, okay, this is a black woman. This is why everybody in the chat is, so she's lashing out, They're leaders and followers. They're seeing through her crap. This woman should stay quiet and let others speak. This is how white men see you. You are not a good spokeswoman for this. Low IQ. Typical Kamala voter, doesn't know why, just feel it. Meanwhile, Kamala got on her knees to get where she's at. This is true to a high value man. Shout out to Willie Brown. She did get on her knees to a high value man that we know about. I noticed that Biden smiles when he sees her too. And that Barack Obama, he waited for the endorsement, and then, a little bit later, it's like, oh yeah, I endorse her now. Just saying. When Michelle was away. Also, can't name one policy other. Yeah, okay. So this is why. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Was that he knows how to choose good friends. He knows how to
Friends?
choose
He's
a
got some
good
friends. Okay.
woman. He's
Women?
respectful of others. He's
Respectful.
mindful of where he wants to go and direction he wants to go. Now,
And
if we're talking money,
is this the hierarchy? Because at what
Mhm.
point does
She's an expert on failed relationships. Shouldn't be given any advice to anyone. Yeah, at 51, I kind of want to hear from like Bella Rings, Danica Marie, Brienne. I want to hear from women like that. I want to hear about the women who, love their men forever, whether times are good or bad, and you're happy or sad. Because she thought that she dodged a bullet when she said, we divorced amicably. But really, it shows that that is the worst type of divorce. That is the worst type of divorce. Because it means that you did it for no good reason. It means that I'm a decent human being. I'm a decent, mature human being. You're a decent, mature human being. But let's get divorced anyway. If it's amicable, it means that you divorced an amicable person. That's what it means. That you got divorced just cause. And then her string of relationships after the divorces was just ridiculous. I even talked to one of the guys, and he was likely on the spectrum. But and then there was like this whole thing where she said that, I got in the car and I had to, I got in the car and turned on the engine. It was weird. It was weird. There's a lot of strangeness surrounding this chick, and that this dude is calling out, and he's going to call it out more severely.
actually having a career for a guy
I was
coming in?
just about to get to that.
Where does it come in? Is it after those or before those?
No, I think that they should be in conjunction with each other. That's what makes them high value.
Well, I'd
That's what
say-
makes them rare.
So Zone says, so the girls who normally sit at the same side as the host tend to be more right-wing conservative type. That's how the seating arrangements are. Well, then what you're saying is that the right-wingers are hotter than the left-wingers. That's what you're saying.
Because it's both. That's what makes the rarity.
I would say that if you are building yourself and developing your resources and a career and these sorts of things, those are the characteristics that tend to come along with that for a guy. So if you have to build something from scratch, then you have to be able to work with people. You can't be like a piece of shit to be around unless you sort of are some Bitcoin millionaire or unless you're some scam artist or something like that, which is a hollow way to live.
That's not necessarily true. I would say that, especially with the rise in STEM, there's lots of people who are working from home, who are working in those fields where they're not getting a lot of interaction. So we can look at the numbers and see that people are not interacting with each other like they used to. They're not on.
Killer of Cereal donated $200. Let's have a banger of a show. Welcome back, Rattlesnake. Welcome, panel. Before heads start rolling from trolling, let's get those most embarrassing date and your carnal knowledge stories, please. Sing.
I think that's a good direction to take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back on track.
I'm hoping I was playing around with audio bullshit for like an hour back there. Can you guys still hear us, chat? Can you pull up the chat for me, please? Or did I fuck things up further? Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us okay?
Let me see. I'm looking for...
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. For those of you who are sending in some messages, we'll just do that now real quick.
Oh, okay.
No idea what happened there with OBS. But,
that's what I was looking for. I was looking. Oh, rating one.
Now.
I finally found it. All right, here we go. I want y'all to pay special close attention to how she rate herself, and I'm gonna include how all the girls rate themselves, and then we'll go into hers. Hit the like button. All right, it's buffering. I hate this.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you can't pick 7. Starting with you, go ahead.
6.
Okay.
9.87.
Okay. All right. Troll answer, but okay.
After hearing what you had to say, I have to change my answer to.
What did you say last time?
I said a 9 because I'm confident and I'm still working on myself. That's why I don't think I'm a 10, but I'm going to switch it to 8. Like, not that I got lower confidence since last time, but I can never stop improving. So,
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to say 8.
Okay.
6.5.
All right, give it a second to buffer. So you see where where they're at now. That 9.87 was just. I'm glad that they didn't have that.
Is 5 supposed to be the middle?
So using this scale, 5 would be average.
5 would be average, then 2.
Okay.
I'm going to say a 5. I'm just your average 51-year-old black girl.
Okay.
So you're saying that your average black girl is less than an overweight white girl who gave herself a 5.2. But nevertheless, what she wants to do is she wants to normalize. Like 51-year-old black women look like this. Now, everybody who's seen a large number of black women know that that's not true because they all don't get liposuction. In fact, very few do. And very few, and even fewer, maintain their weight through natural means. So no. And of course, the face work that you had done too. 55, that's black great mother. Yeah. I think you mean like great grandmother. So yeah, she just basically said, I'm average. She's trying to normalize herself. She wants to be oh yeah, we all look like this at 51. Because once again, she's trying to sell the concept of black women to white men. But the reason that women don't have to sell themselves to men. Not to the extent that she's doing it. The reason why she's selling herself to this extent is because black women are not marketable.
Yeah, this is a hard question, being pregnant and stuff, but I would say probably like 5.5.
I think you're higher than that, girl. You're given life.
We'll go 6.
Okay. She said, I think you're higher than that, girl. You're giving life. Dang. So basically, she says she's a 5.2. She says she's a 5. And she says she's like a 5.5 or something like that. And then, but the other woman didn't say, I think you're higher than that to either of these two, but she said it to this one. She agreed with their 5 assessments. She took their 5 assessments and was like, yeah, that's about right. But when she said 5, a pregnant woman, she said, whoa, I think you're higher than that. Just saying. Let me see if there's anything else here.
I give myself a 5. Okay, so you gave yourself a 9.87. Stifler has a follow-up question. Total face body. So break it down, total face body. So 9.87 total. What do you do for face? What do you do for body?
I didn't look at all that. Didn't go into all that. Let me see where else I went. Okay, so where am I at? I'm at the 252 mark. Okay, so rating 1 to 10. Will you be more attractive to confronting lies? Denying of age. Let's see. Super chats, Brian Zanger, Lion, interracial dating plus. Okay, here's where we go. Okay. This is where they give her the mic for a bit. So this is where I want to focus on, because this is her interracial dating, and we're going to see how interested the chat room is in interracial dating after her sale. And also the guys on the panel. Listen, she's trying to sell a
Book or whatever.
Yeah,
virtually undesired
From a black
product.
woman's perspective. It was very sticky, by the way. I don't know why that
Yeah,
was.
I think it was
There's
something in
lotion.
my suitcase. Sorry.
It's
Hold
all
on.
good. It might be interesting to discuss. So the book is called Swirling,
Swirling,
Swirling.
like the ice cream cone.
and you're dating a white man. Is that?
Yes.
And so
He's completely unfamiliar with the concept. I'm going to repeat that. He's completely unfamiliar with the concept. One more time. He's completely unfamiliar with the concept. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to tell y'all what exactly that means. What if black men were not familiar with the concept of BBC? What would that mean? Now, BBC is a term coined by white women to describe black men genitalia. Every black man is aware of this. And you want to know why we're aware of that term? Because we are interested in white women. And we are curious about how interested they are in us. The fact that he doesn't know what swirling is means that he is not interested in black women, and he is not curious about how interested they are in him. If there was like a Brazilian concept that talked about, and it was in Portuguese, and the Brazilian had this term, let's call it, El Negra. Let's just say that, El Negro. We want El Negra. Cui El Negra. If there was something like that in Brazilian culture, we would know about it. We would know if they had like a catchphrase and they were writing books on how to gobble my penis, we would know about it. Now, there is books exactly like that written by her, and he don't know about it. He's like, okay, she gave me this book and signed it. I don't know what this is. There's a picture of an ice cream on it. What is this? What is there? Is there like free black vagina in it for me? I don't care. It's, let's be frank. She is like either the last or second to last person on the panel that he would smash. That's why he don't give a damn. And yes, he would smash this pregnant broad before her.
what's the book like? Plot synopsis? What's it about?
It's not a novel, which makes it worse, which is why he didn't read any of it. He grabbed the book and said, "Oh, this is sticky," and put it down. Because it's foolishness.
It was written back in 2012, and Black women have the lowest marriage rates, the highest divorce rates.
Mhm.
We outnumber Black men by the millions. And at the time, Black women were 42% single.
Except for China, every group of women outnumber their men by the millions. She's just on some craziness. All right. Anyway, it says, this guy says, don't mix races, guys. Chocolate vanilla swirl. Let's see. Not 50 Shades of Grey, right? Ha ha. She seems a little smirky. I don't know what that means. Jungle Fever. Let's see. Sticky in your suitcase. LOL. Like they're not interested. She's trying to sell discount vagina to white guys, and they none of them seem to be like elated at the concept. All right, so they're talking about something else there. Let's go back to where they're talking about her. This girl looks like an escort. The chick on the end is a fake conservative. I doubt she even understands what conservative. They're not even thinking about her. This one says, no kidding about race. You say black people be obsessed. Yeah.
Well, and everybody was kind of, what are we going to do? 42% of Black women are single. And I said,
look at the look on her face. Look at the look on this fat one's face. They're just jaded like, this broad.
I just got married. I was a writer and very much wanted to write a book. And what better thing than my own experience? Other friends of mine, women, had said, girl, how did you do that? How did you, because it was just.
LOL, haven't heard swirling in a long time. It's a dated concept, just like her. Swirl is the best ice cream too. No, it's not.
You know, in the early 2000s, it was seen as something that just wasn't done. A lot of Black women.
Interracial dating?
From Black women, interracial.
Oh, like dating white guys. Or,
yeah,
okay,
it just was a lot of stigma. There's a lot of social consequences.
He's thinking like, wait, what? Okay.
That went along with it. And so I came out and said, hey, date the best man for the job.
Does it work vice versa though?
Absolutely.
Like Black men dating.
Okay. She just said date the best man for the job. But remember all of those criteria when she was describing her best men are things like, oh no, character, knows how to lead and follow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She was describing Black men when she was saying the best man for the job. But no, what she really defines best man as is money. She just didn't want to give Kevin Samuels his flowers. Black men like white women. You're stupid. Girl, how do you write? I think he says she seems illiterate. I mean, I never get a 7K check. I don't know what that means. Most Black women aren't marriage material. Oh, crap. They're just throwing it out there. They're just throwing it out there. Kick. They're basically saying kick her off the show. 50 Shades of Race play. Somebody says cap chameleon. Bring back stigma. Yeah, Democrats have screwed over the community and they vote 90%. They vote for Dems 90%. So talking about Black people and Democrats. All right. Oh, crap. Oh, and while this is going on, you have a white woman like, hey, but I want some of that BBC. Watch the transition.
I came out and said, hey, date the best man for the job.
Does it work vice versa though?
Absolutely.
Like Black men dating.
Oh, they do
white
it. They do
women?
it twice as much.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't need to be told.
And then what about white women dating any?
So she's like, does it work the other way? He's like, yeah. And he said that they don't need to be told. White guys, they don't need to be told because white women are appealing. White guys need to be told. If you have to be told to put your penis in certain vaginas, you really haven't really looked at that group of people as women. Because she's not selling the concept to Black women. They have embraced this concept long ago. She's selling the concept to white men.
any other like
Honey,
races.
go with God. Whoever you want to date. Yeah, everybody date who they want to date.
Yeah. And then you said that you're one of the rare people who actually went to charm school.
Right.
You have an argument that women should pick that up again.
Yes. I do think that there has been something lost in terms of the way we communicate with each other, the way that we dress, the way that we speak to people, the respect that we give to people seems to be lost. So yeah, I definitely do think that. Like last week, there was a girl on your show, and she was sitting in the top, and she just like went up to go to the bathroom, and I could see everything. I'm like, girl, do you know how to do this? See?
Careful on camera there, Austin.
Do that. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think we could learn, there's things that we can learn. Be more
Based.
civil.
Yeah, not.
More civil.
Are you
Like,
just
what's
talking
wrong
about
with
like
that?
etiquette and
Yes, etiquette. Etiquette is what you do. Protocol is when you do it.
The white women are kind of like jaded by this conversation because they don't need charm school to attract a man. They have lingerie, and they don't wait till they're 51 years old to start taking relationships seriously. So right off the bat, they're just like, well, we know how to be feminine without necessarily, going through the different types of forks there are. And from the bits of her book that I did read, she actually has to tell Black women not to fart at the dinner table. Oh, y'all don't believe me? It's free online, at least like the first 100 pages. Yeah, she tells Black women, whatever you do, don't fart at the dinner table. That's her etiquette schooling. See, they don't have to be told crap like that.
And I think that there's a lot of confusion about what you do and when you do it.
All right. You said these are disagreements. I do think that the show doesn't always give a good representation of single women dating. A seeming annoyance with women. I take issue with some of the regressive stances the men take about women's agency in society. What are some of those?
Somebody's just like, yes, queen. All right. Well, why is it buffering? So anyway, let's see. Statistically, they will be
Not
fat.
necessarily,
Okay.
Brian. I was hoping Andrew would be here. My main beef was the idea that women shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Okay, let me pause this for a second. Let's go over to the chat room. She's not a Republican. WYR. LOL, it's very true. Look into it. Okay. Yeah, I went to princess school. Okay, so this is another Black woman probably trying to sell herself. Like, oh, no. We go to etiquette school. Yeah, that's why you throw pancakes at people at IHOP. Like, and that's why you throw burgers at people at Burger King. Like, yeah, that's etiquette. Like, I went to Montessori school. I did ballet. I did a lot of things that make me a classy woman of today. Oh my gosh, this is what you call fake certificates. This is what you call fake certificates. They're like these makeshift unaccredited schools where they give you like certificates of completion for doing stuff. They're like, oh yes, see, I'm a classy woman. Here's my certificate. Listen, if you have to walk around with certificate stapled to your lingerie, it is because people don't see you as classy by default. People see you as a classless being, but you have to prove yourself as classy. Like if you have to walk around with your high school diploma in your pocket, it's because people don't think that you graduated high school. Off rip. Well, I mean, they know everything. This chat room knows everything. They knows the obesity rate. Look at this. It says, very true. Look into it. Yeah, I went to Princess. Okay. You'll find info. Let's see. Where did it say that? Imagine the only black bringing up race. Yeah. Yeah. The hosts are liars. Some people stole her from only. Okay. Somebody called her a granny with a miracle bra. Look at this. They are not interested. Okay. No twerking. She was obsessed with chat one last time, having no underwear, but no underwear on, but she did have some on, I think. Okay. I guess she was talking to somebody about the underwear. Let's see. If she's feeding into that bullshit, okay, let's see. I've looked into it. Only blacks and other darker races have all the admixture. What does that mean? Okay.
I mean, that's
That's not my position.
No, I know that's
not my position.
Yeah, so that was
Andrew's
what.
not here,
Yeah, that was
so.
what I that's what I took issue with.
Why should they be able to vote?
You're not serious, right? We're not going to have this.
Okay. If you want to have
Are we really gonna
if you
do
want to
it?
have the discussion, let's do it.
Really?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So she said that she came on to meet a guy who said that women shouldn't vote. And when he said, okay, well, let's talk about, why do you think women should be able to vote? And she said, I'm not going to have that discussion. It gets lower IQ as it goes on. Hit the like button.
Should women be drafted?
No, I said I don't want to be drafted.
Let the veteran
But that's
answer
not-
that
that's-
question.
But
So voting, meaning the
Well, you have to register for the draft in order to vote. So he is on the subject.
what do you mean that women? First of all, let me ask you, what's your position?
no, I'm asking you your position. You're the one who wanted to talk about it. I'm happy to steal minutes. So why should they vote?
Well, I think that first of all, it's a bizarre notion that the United States government or any other Western country would ever take a woman's right to vote away from her. It's a nonsense conversation that seems to be clicks for cash kind of conversation because it's never.
But yet you wanted to talk about it with the other guy. She really just sits there. This chick really just sits there with the helmet on. That's amazing. Somebody said, something, you're pretty. How would you like to make money sitting with a helmet on?
Never going to happen.
You're still not giving any reasons.
It's never going to happen. Under
It's happened
our
a lot of times in the
constitution,
past. In most countries in
but
the
our
world, women don't vote.
He's asking direct questions. And you're like, it's not going to happen. They're not going to take it away. But this is a matter of should, not if.
does not allow for that. Our Constitution says that men are created equal. Men and women are created
Right. So
equal.
should we draft women?
The Constitution does not say men and women are created equal. I hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. It doesn't say and women.
We draft women.
Listen, if you want to draft women, you can. You can talk to President Trump or President Harris, whoever is in charge, if you want to do that. But what we're talking about is, can women vote?
Yeah. So once again, what's the reason why women should vote?
Because they're a human being.
So
They contribute to society.
Okay, let's take it one by
They
one.
have
One by one.
brains.
They're human being. Holy crap. Okay.
One by one. Human being.
Mhm.
Should
okay.
infants vote?
Yes. So first off,
Hold it into the mic.
women are half of this population. They have a right and they have a say, and they deserve to be represented
Why?
because they are half of this population. They are human beings and are.
That is not a reason. they should have the right to vote because it's a lot of them.
Constitution says that we are equal. And not only that, but society, Western society, this is a regressive idea that women should not be able to vote. And what it would take...
Regressing to what exactly? You're saying 10 things. We need to take it one by one because
Okay.
we're spurging.
Mhm.
So regressing to what?
Regressing to 100 years ago, over 100 years ago.
Is that a bad thing?
Yes, it is.
Would you say morally we're better off now than we were 100
But
years
we're
ago?
not talking about that. We are not talking about the effects of women being able to vote and extrapolating that to where we are morally as a society. Because Hitler also happened when women were able to vote.
So if you look at how women vote,
I mean, what do you want to? What?
No, I just want you to lay out a logical argument as to why
I mean,
women should vote.
we dropped
Because you've said they're
bombs
humans.
on
You said they're
Japan
humans.
when
Hold on a
women were
second.
able
You
to
said they're
vote.
humans.
Mhm.
Infants are humans. Should infants be able to vote?
No.
Okay, cool.
People who...
What's the next one?
Wait,
you need to take it point by point.
Mhm.
You're doing a lot of talking, but not making too much sense.
Okay.
Women are humans. Okay, not a good reason.
Let the heifer talk. She don't know feminist history. That's true. More than 100 years ago, kind of made that clear. Sprung, what does that mean? Okay. Love how she keeps retreating. Yes. Yes. I mean, well, she's retreating from the reason that she came on the show. Like, it seemed like she would be prepared. It seemed like she would be prepared. Like, oh, yeah, I came up to talk to the other guy about, women not having the right to vote, which is a salacious thing to say. It is something that it's like, whoa, and especially since you had time to prepare, you should be like rapid fire on, on blah, 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 on such and such and such and such. We were granted the right to vote. And since then, women have assured the prosperity, and we're the reason that y'all were able to put a man on the moon. Like, she should have had everything set up. But no, she's like, oh, no, we're not going to talk about this. Like, wait, what?
What's the next one?
No, but that is a human right. That's what I meant to say.
Okay,
It
so
is a human right to be able to vote. So we can just scratch that I said women are humans, and we'll
a
just
human
say
right to vote
it is a
according to who?
human right to vote.
According to
I
who?
think women should be able to vote, and for the
He is creaming her.
sake of this being clipped, I don't think you're doing a great job at all of explaining why women should be able to vote, because now people are going to see them and be like, that's why women should vote. They can't make up their mind.
Okay,
I mean, that's not a good job
well, let
at
me
all.
be clear. Well,
Women
Okay. This white woman just called her an idiot. She's basically saying you're doing a poor job of this. What you're doing is not a good job. You're making women look like idiots. Somebody's going to clip you speak and think that it's justified, that you do not have a justifiable leg to stand on, that women shouldn't vote because you're stupid. They're going to look at you as a poster child of reasons why women shouldn't vote. That's what this woman is saying.
well, thank you for your contribution. But
Well, she's not piling on. She's taking over. She's like, man, you are looking real bad. You are looking real bad out here.
let me
She's
be
making
clear.
more sense
I
than you.
mean,
Right.
there's
Well,
so many
probably.
reasons I can
And then he
name.
says she's making more sense than you. Basically, let the white woman speak. Let the white woman speak.
Please do a better job. You're representing women that when this is clipped and people are saying this is why women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, there's so many reasons.
Okay, well, you tell me.
We're a part of this society, and we do make up a big population, but we're also a part of this society. We work, we contribute, we pay taxes. We're forced to pay taxes. We go through the education system. We make decisions about our children, and we want the best for our kids. That's why we vote. So we
Should we take it one by one?
yes.
Okay, first one. You work and pay taxes.
Correct.
Okay. Wow. She did better, but still not good. She did better than CK because we went through the school system does negate the whole infant argument that he throws in there. It does take that away from it. I mean, there's a lot of rebuttals that you can give, but at least he has to rebut it. At least he has that. We pay taxes, the contribution to the system. All of these things, though not the best, are still better than because we're human. And the Constitution says men and women. And and they're not going to take it away. Those were horrible. Pink pill, you're horrible.
$14-year-olds work and pay taxes. Should they vote?
I think the age is 16 to work, but
Should they vote?
What?
How old do you have to be to vote?
18.
Why can't 16-year-olds vote? They work and pay taxes.
Because they're just working and they don't
That's a straw
understand the
man.
system.
You know it.
How's it a straw man?
Because you know that
Oh my gosh.
voting.
So she chimes in and calls it a straw man when it's not really a straw man because, 16-year-olds exist. In fact, every man who's over 16 has been 16. It's like, here, let me look up straw man. Because straw man is typically an individual that a person craft to meet a certain narrative. But he didn't craft the concept of 16-year-olds. Like a straw man would be like if I created like a indescribably perfectly unique scenario, which is not 16. That is not a unique scenario. But let me get the official definition of straw man. Oh, well, something else came up, and that's a picture of a scarecrow. So let me just say straw man argument. Okay, a straw man argument is a logical fallacy that involves misrepresenting an opponent's argument in order to make it easier to attack. There's no misrepresentation. 16-year-olds exist. A straw man argument is a distorted and weaker version of another person's argument that can be easily refuted. Okay. None of this applies.
The voting age is 18. So
It's called logic.
it's a cluster of things. So the fact that it is our human right to be able to vote.
No,
The
it's
fact
not.
that we
According
She's
to who?
back
You know
into
you
the
have-
human rights. She took the mic from the more intelligent woman. Just to say it's a human right. This guy is looking like this broad. I'm really not going to read her book.
You made a claim. You made a claim. You have
Mhm.
to substantiate that claim.
Mhm.
Where is this human right?
Okay, so I didn't
Tell
say
us the
that,
people of
but
Tajikistan.
I would say that to
Tajikistan.
oh my gosh, the organization, the United Nations says that has declared that it is a woman's human right to vote.
Holy crap. Okay, give it a moment. I mean, there's so much wrong with that. Like she's back to the human right thing, which she already debunked because not every human has the
No,
right
they
to
haven't.
vote.
When did they say that?
The UN's also cucked.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
A kindergarten shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah,
A
but-
kin-
Somebody said, when did the UN say that? Okay, let's see. UN says woman's right to vote is a human right. Welcome to the United Nations. Gender equality, besides being a fundamental right, is essential to gender equality with Floyd. So when I type that in, it doesn't say the UN says that. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country. It even says his. It doesn't say that. Gosh, this chick is dizzy.
The thing is,
Kindergartners shouldn't be able to vote, but
you have to take
they're
it-
a part
take
of the
yourself-
education system,
Sure.
just like a 16-year-old works.
Oh, wow,
in
you sound so
taxi
much
show.
smarter than I did.
No,
I'm making actual points, so I disagree
Operation
with
Meow.
that. Is that a weird No.
Wait, did she just admit that she sounds so much smarter than she did? Hold on.
Just like a 16-year-old works.
Oh, wow,
in
you sound so
taxi
much
show.
smarter than I did.
no,
I'm making
Then why did you interrupt her? I'm talking about before, not now. But you interrupted her before with the same human rights stuff. Okay. Oh crap. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You just admitted that this woman is so much smarter than you. What does that mean? You're trying to sell the concept of swirling while admitting that these white women are younger, hotter, sexier, childless, and smarter than you. What exactly are you selling? What exactly are you selling at this point? Oh, this is an ultimate L. This is an ultimate L. Hit the like button on this because like begins with the letter L, and that's what this is. This is a L. Hit the L button for the stream. This is just squeeze it, squash it, gamma. Younger, hotter, sexier, childless, and smarter.
making actual points, so I disagree
Operation
with
Meow.
that. Is that a weird No.
So,
She just ate that L. She said, "You sound so much smarter than me." She said, "That's because I'm making an actual point." Dang, she just ate that L. I think she eat a lot of white women stuff, though, to be honest. But anyway, let's see.
so yeah,
Can I
kindergarten.
interject
Please,
just for a
go for
second?
it.
So I feel like a majority of the women here are more conservative leaning. If you look at how women vote, they lean more left, more liberal. They make bad decisions in voting. I think that if you want to be able to vote, you have to be up for the draft.
I think that's
that
true.
women should be able to give away
So
that
you
right.
think you think that women shouldn't vote? Is what you're saying?
No, I said that women could be drafted. That's what I'm saying.
But do you think that it's desirable to have women fighting in the military?
What
Would
do
you
We
want
serve
would you
another
be?
way.
I-
Why
what
not
is it?
ask the
Desire
person
another
who was
way.
in the
You can
military?
cook.
Sure, let's go
And
there.
What is that?
Go there,
What do you mean desire?
Okay, now we have a conversation. She's sitting silently. Basically, let the white people talk. She's sitting silently while they are making good points. His rebuttal is, you think that women should sign up for the draft? And her response is, yes, I think that they should sign up for the draft. He says, do you really want to have women protecting the country? Because now he's on the ropes because it's like, wait a minute, if women sign up for the draft, and now he's saying, oh yeah, but they're not good fighters. So are you saying that only people who are good fighters should sign up? So now he's on the rope. I haven't seen this part. And now it's a discussion. Now it's a decent back and forth. Now, keep in mind, it is like 5 women to 1 man or 4 women to 1 man. And now she's going to say, well, let's ask the Marine. Let's ask her, but I doubt that she was actually fighting. And I know that we're in peacetime, but I doubt that she was actually placed into a position. There are so many non-infantry positions in the military. There's stacks and stacks of them. I'm pretty sure she took one of them.
Terrible.
So would you rather be next to standing side by sides on the front line with a woman or a man?
It depends. I don't want some scrawny idiot on.
A man.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
A man.
yeah.
The answer is a
if you
man.
wanted to go.
Okay, at least they're being honest. She is out this conversation. She is out this conversation that she started.
The battle, you'd want to be with a man, right?
Okay, I just rethought it.
And also, women.
I just rethought my point. Men are genetically stronger.
Mhm.
Men can build muscle quicker. Men have better endurance. But that doesn't have to do with voting, in my opinion, whatsoever. We
Good
all have
point.
brains.
Good point. Everybody's smart but you. Everybody's smart but you.
Well, the
Just
thing,
'cause
I'll
we-
tell you why it has to do with voting.
Okay.
Because if you are a woman who is able to vote, then voting gets people into power who can send people off to war, who can send countries off to war. Whenever America goes into war, actually, Australia follows them, by the way. But yeah, so if you can send people to war, have the power to nullify somebody's vote who's older than you, and you can have that power, then why should you not have to go to war?
Yeah, but you're making two
Oh, she's about to say stuff. Let's see.
different
'Cause you're
arguments
born-
here. Like you're saying that if women want to vote, you're saying if this, then that. You're not in any position of power to enforce that. Why are we even having this discussion? You don't.
Holy crap. She's a special type of stupid. She is a special type of stupid. The conversation was getting deep. And the conversation was getting good. And her response to a conversation that was getting good and deep was, oh, yeah, you don't have any power, so why are we talking about this? Wait, what? So you have to be a politician to talk about stuff? She's upset because she can't keep up with this conversation without looking like an idiot. So she's like, oh, yeah, well, you don't have any power, so let's not talk about it. Okay. Everybody's looking at her now like, why did you interrupt this good conversation that we were having? Take a look at where the conversation was going. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back 20 seconds. Take a look at this chick. The first robots, the first sex robots will look and behave exactly like her. I'm going to repeat that. The first sex robots, and I'm not talking about Crystalline Cares, I'm talking about her right here. Look at the mouse. Will look and behave exactly like her. Exactly like her. Now, back to the show.
If somebody's vote who's older than you and you can have that power, then why should you not have to go to war?
Yeah, but
that is a very good question.
You're making two different
'Cause you're
arguments
born-
here. Like you're saying that if women want to vote, you're saying if.
She's gonna, okay. She said that you're making two different arguments without stating what both arguments are. And then she just said, you don't have any power to say anything, so fuck it, let's move on. This is retarded.
Whenever America goes into war, actually, Australia follows them, by the way. But yeah, so if you can send people to war, have the power to nullify somebody's vote who's older than you and you can have that power, then why should you not have to go to war?
That is a good question. And I did want to see the follow-up on that. He's like, listen, your vote can influence wars where people other than you can die. So why should you be allowed to influence the actions that can cause others their life? You don't have the same skin in the game. I think somebody in the chat room said that. Yeah, skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're making two different
'Cause you're
arguments
born-
here. Like you're saying that if women want to vote, you're saying if this, then that. You're not in any position of power to enforce that. Why are we even having this discussion?
That was just dumb. You're making two different arguments. You're saying if then, that's the argument. Yes. Is it a bad thing if somebody says, if this happens, if you have the right to vote, then you will put, you have the ability to put men in danger without endangering yourself? What's wrong with an if then statement? We use it all the time in coding. Well, we just use if, and sometimes if else, or, there's really no need for then else, but you get the point. You're a complete idiot. If you let an idiot speak, then she interrupts highbrow conversations.
Discussion. You don't, what are you going to do? You can't make somebody who wants to vote decide they're going to enlist for the military.
So you're saying
unless they
regular
want to.
people shouldn't talk about politics?
No, but what I'm saying is that it's sort of just being provocative, because it's like.
Was that just a buzzword? How's it being provocative when you brought up the conversation? I wanted to talk to the guy about, women's rights to vote. And he said, okay, I'll have this conversation. Oh, you're being provocative. I don't know what she thinks provoke means. Or I don't know what she thinks provocative means. But it means to provoke. And you are provoking. What the hell? Okay, here's the thing. And this goes to you men too. Never be the stupidest one in a group of white people. That is not a good look. Never be the stupidest one in a group of white people. Now, don't get me wrong. It can happen. It can happen. Like if a bunch of scientist CEOs and you just so happen to deliver for DoorDash, so you just find yourself, okay, if you deliver for DoorDash and you deliver to Mensa, like they're having a Mensa meeting, and you just find yourself temporarily, in a room full of highly intelligent people, and for whatever reason, none of them are black. Now, that's not really how that would work, but let's just say for the sake of this argument, right? Then deliver the coffee and don't say nothing. Crystal and Sweetie, this is shut up time. This is be quiet time. This is shut up time. You was already told by one of these smart people that you shouldn't be speaking, that you are going against everything. Please be quiet. This is shut up time.
Like, do you know what would have to happen for the vote to be of question?
Just remove the 19th Amendment.
The question is, should they be allowed to vote? Your answer is, y'all can't take my vote away. Ike, OG Amian, greatly appreciate you, brother. Greatly appreciate you. It says, side notes, lots of smart, talented, and mature women are also sexy AF. Absolutely. Absolutely. And qualified to be in my presence. Absolutely. Absolutely. People need to understand the concept of better women. The concept of better women. You see, it's always the unattractive women who preach the concepts of genetic equality throughout. If there was a such thing as genetic equality, then, there would be no need for like natural selection, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, some women, and here's where I'm going with this. and men do this too, but we tend to know. That's why we have a social hierarchy. You know, like if I'm stuck in a forest with a bunch of hostiles, you know, let's just say, you know, enemy hostiles, and then there's a Navy SEAL and an Army Green Beret there, I'm going to say, excuse me, sir. We're all equal, okay? We're all equal. Why do I have to listen to you? I would be an idiot. I would be Crystal and Karis. I would be a complete and total idiot. So that's why they come up with the concept of, we as humans, that's why we come up with the concept of the dumb jock and the dizzy blonde or the Kelly Bundy or the bimbo. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's the dumb jock, and then there's the bimbo stereotype. There are the tropes. And that's because you feel like, you have to feel like there's balance in the universe, that a person can't be both athletic and intelligent. A woman cannot be both beautiful and intelligent. And this is so ugly people can say that they have a leg up on beautiful people. Crystal and Karis, you have no legs up on any of these women except the fat one. And you had liposuction. Crystal and Karis had liposuction. So you have no leg up. Keep your legs down and close, and let the beautiful, intelligent people speak. But you don't want that to happen.
And it would be absolute anarchy.
No,
You
they
will
wouldn't.
not. Women would not.
What are you guys going to do
let
about
that stand.
it?
Listen,
when
women
women are
have
in
guns.
power,
Women have guns.
society.
Women know how to fight.
just-
I'm not saying we.
Hold on a second. You talk.
Oh my gosh, she said women have guns. It's getting stupider. Look at the look on people's face. They're looking away in embarrassment. They're looking away in embarrassment. She already said we do not want to be represented by your words. People are going to clip it, me, and you're going to look stupid. But you still insist on speaking. People know when you're stupid. Know when you're stupid. For me, take me for example. I'm not stupid. Or excuse me, I'm not stupid, but I know my limitations. I am not going to be in a room with, Neil deGrasse Tyson arguing that Pluto should be a planet. Do I feel that Pluto should be a planet? Absolutely. Do I think that it's a bunch of crap that they changed it to not be a planet? Absolutely. Do I think that they should change the definition of planet to include Pluto in it? Absolutely. Okay. I do not know or care what a celestial dwarf is. If I was in a room with with Neil deGrasse Tyson and a bunch of other astrophysicists, you would hear the sound of me shutting up. You will hear the sound of me shutting up. Like, yeah, because then it would just come down to me saying stuff like, well, yeah, but it was cool when it was a planet. And yeah, but I mean, you can't just take the planet away. And, we have 9 planets and that's cool. So, and now what are we going to say? Like, I would look like her. Just stop being an idiot. Know when you are outmatched. If I was her, if I had that mentality, if any man had that mentality, they would sound like, okay, it's like going to the gym, seeing a bunch of bodybuilders and saying, you ain't smarter than me. Or excuse me, you ain't stronger than me. You should just stop lifting. Or some ridiculous crap like that. Like, stop taking enormous L's. You're making your L bigger by trying to turn it into something else.
For long periods of time, you need to shorten that a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
So you said that it would be anarchy. You said
Yes,
all the
it would.
women would get up and get their guns.
Dang it. These things are as long as the commercials. What's the point of not having commercials if you're going to have these buffer things that's just as long as commercials? Let me read some of that.
How do you think that would go?
I'm just
for
saying
them?
it wouldn't go over well.
How do you think that would go for the women trying to overthrow the military?
I don't think that they care. I think that in our country, I don't know about
Why don't you
Australia.
answer the question?
Yeah,
How would
why
that
aren't
go?
you answering the question? They're mad that she took the mic. And they're just, so they're mad, but they're kind of glad, like, because now her L is an individual one. They chimed in because she was making all women look bad. But now that they made themselves look reasonably good, including the fat one, now they're like, okay, now she's just looking bad. So they're like, okay, let her go.
For the women if they decided to be up in arms with all of the anarchy and try and overthrow the government and reinstate the 19th Amendment?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in order for the 19th Amendment to have to be taken away, retracted,
Yep, they passed a bill.
it would have to be a major upset in our political system for there to be a constitutional
I know
amendment.
And then what's
quite
going to
a
happen?
few
Women,
women who would
and then
support
what are they going to do? Are they going to vote them out?
That is a amendment. Okay. The 19th Amendment is an amendment. That's why it's called that.
Could I add something?
You're asking, you're
If the women are so pissed off about
scenario.
losing the vote, what are they going to do? Vote them out?
Okay, listen, tell me under what circumstances would it be possible for
That's
women?
not the argument. The argument is, should they have the right to vote? Why is she giving a thumbs up and a smile? I hope that means she wants to fuck me. Back to her. The question is, should they have the right to vote? Your answer does, you're not answering that question. Your answer is, under what circumstances would they take that right away?
To lose the vote. I really want you to just lay it out for me. What's the scenario?
Sure, there'd be a Republican.
It's not a matter of feasibility.
No, that's not what I said. Like, what would happen?
I'm
What would have
literally
to lead
saying
up to
to
it?
you right now. So a Republican president would be elected. He would propose a bill that would go through the Senate and the House that would be to remove the 19th Amendment. It would go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court would be based Republicans, and they would say, yes, get rid of that 19th Amendment, and then the women wouldn't be able to vote anymore. And then the Republicans would get elected more.
And we would all just live together happily, and we would all buy each other Coke and sing happily hand in hand. No, that's not. And
Wait,
what
what?
else would we do at that point?
Wait, hold on.
I'm not going to be
you
an
guys.
anarchist with that, but I mean,
Wait, what? She asked him to describe the circumstances under which that can happen, and he described it, and then she talked about the unfeasible. This is not an argument of feasibility. This is an argument of should it happen.
Hold on a second, one at a time. You guys can all throw your opinions at me. Go.
What I'm saying is this. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just
Attack
being
me if you want. I'm happy
I'm
for you
being
to.
very animated.
It's a
but
conversation.
What I'm saying is that for what you are suggesting, it would have to be all men Senate, all men.
Oh, by the way, yes, you did hear that correctly. Through all the other absurd stuff, she did say buy each other Coke. I'm going to ignore the Coke part, which is a huge ignore. I am doing you a favor by ignoring the Coke part. Two people buying each other something nullifies it. Shout out to Ike. I met up with Ike, and I think it was San Rafael, and we had dinner, and he picked up the tab. Now, it would completely nullify everything if I was to buy his meal and he was to buy mine. That wouldn't make sense. We buy each other Coke. Like, why? It's like, hey, I got something for you. Oh, really? What is it? It's some Coke. Then the other person says, oh, great, I got something for you too. What is it? Some Coke. That is the way her brain works. Once again, I'm going to ignore that she used, of all things, Coke. She could have literally said sweet potato pie, apple pie, anything. In a perfect world, while we all buy each other chocolate cake, I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, let me ignore that and let me continue.
Congress.
Yep.
Or the strongest.
That
ones.
is not, when has that happened?
Why should women be in politics?
Okay, it's not
You
a good
can be
faith
angry about it,
argument.
or you can make a logical argument. Why should
No,
women
you're
be
not,
in politics?
but your argument is in good faith because you are not giving me
I
the
can give- I
setup.
Can I
of how
add and
it would
backtrack
work
for a
in
second?
realistic.
Yeah, add
Men-
something.
I'm going to add and backtrack for a second. Women and men are born.
Thank God for gentlemen like this. Good point. She never heard of prohibition.
Born differently.
Certainly.
Every human being is born with a brain,
Certainly.
and everyone is able to think. Men are gifted in the sense that they are stronger, they run faster. That's why we have men and women's sports, which I fully agree with. Men, women.
Less
women.
neurotic, less agreeable.
That's what. In women, you can't have a kid. Everyone's born with different things, but for the entire population, we all have brains to think. We all have arms and legs, the majority, obviously, to work, to do all that. Therefore, women should be able to. I can't tell if you're playing devil's advocate or you really believe it, but you're from Australia, so I'm happy that you can't vote here for that. I will say I'm happy for that.
That's fair enough.
But men getting drafted, they were born differently. We're born differently, but we all have a
And
common
so-
thing, which is a brain, and we could think.
I
And like
got
she
the
said
point.
that-
I got the point. I'm ready to answer it.
Great.
Okay. So men being drafted
Sure.
because
Okay. I get where she was going with it, but it's still a fail because, and I'm not saying I'm against their right to vote. I'm saying that they haven't really posed an adequate argument yet. He's basically saying that because one gender's contribution to this country is different and valuable in a different way, that it's for those ways that they should be allowed to vote. I understand that.
they're physically superior to women, right? And then you said that we can't have children.
Physically superior is not what I said. That you have different stuff. You can't have a kid. That
What?
someone could argue the opposite.
Okay, so would you, like we made
Okay,
the argument before about the men going,
Now it's semantics because, you said faster, stronger, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He called it physically superior, but no matter. It's just semantics at that point.
going into the military, you'd rather have a man next to you because he's physically superior. Most men, the vast majority of men, would beat up most women. We can agree to that, right?
100%.
Okay, it's cool. So,
PR Aquatic donated $200. Lady in the green, where do you think your rights come from?
Being born in
She's known as Lady in the Green.
America.
Yeah, being born in U.S. soil and having the rights and privileges of an American citizen. That's where I got my rights.
Okay, good answer.
Also, my father was fought in World War II, and my
Okay, I say good answer, but I haven't seen this part. But the more she talks, it's not going to get better. I doubt it's going to get better. Let's see.
Grandfather fought in World War I. We are Americans. We love this country.
Okay. Yeah. You're
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I told you. She started off decent. She's like, listen, I have the right to vote because I was a free-born citizen in the USA. She has that going. And then she said, also, my father fought and my grandfather fought. What the hell? You're saying that women should have the right to vote because men fought. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Holy crap, that was dumb. Oh, gosh, my brain hurts. His argument is women is not a sufficient fighting force, and therefore they shouldn't have the right to vote. Your counter argument is my grandfather and my father fought, both of whom presumably are men. Ah.
your father and your grandfather served the country. Good for
Yes,
them.
they
They
did.
deserve to vote.
Yes, they, and you know what? Even their
He just killed it right there. Good for them. They deserve to vote. And now she's looking out on this chick smirking. Oh, man.
their daughters and their granddaughters also deserve to vote. People
You got to bridge that gap.
where I come from, the right to vote is very important to us. So I don't play with that
Okay. Well, why is it important to you?
because we weren't always able to vote in this country.
That's not a reason. Basically, what you're saying is, I want to because I couldn't before. See, the other woman was right. She is given justification because by that logic, if you're granted the right to baby deletion and you go and do it, and somebody says, "Why did you delete your baby?" and your answer is because I couldn't do it before, means that you are not responsible with liberties and therefore don't deserve it. You basically saying that you do stuff because you can and you want stuff because you couldn't have it. That's not a mature mindset, and you're the oldest woman on this planet, really the oldest person here.
Okay.
And it is very important to us.
Okay, but like doesn't answer why you should. I would love to eat ice
Listen,
cream. Ice cream is important to me.
Because
Should I
my
have a right to
forefathers
that?
fought and died. There were people who were hosed in the streets so that I could have the.
Did she say hose in the street? Oh, hose, like fire hose. Okay. That's for black rights to vote, sweetie. Really, that's more for like civil rights and anti-Jim Crow laws. But yeah, that wasn't like women's rights to vote. Like there wasn't like, a bunch of women marching for the rights to vote and they got hosed in the streets. They're all silent. She's rolling her eyes. I don't know what she's doing. But they're all like, let her have cake.
The right to vote. So I'm going to be an educated voter. I'm going to vote. I am going to advocate for my children to vote. I am going to make sure that I pick the best person for the job. I am not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. I am a registered independent.
Okay.
I choose my politicians like I choose my men. Let the best man win.
All right. Bad analogy because it's a mutual choice. unlike with politics. It's not like Kamala is going to vote for you. But when you're getting with a man, he actually has to also be interested in you.
Would you choose Kamala?
She was able to make it all about her, and she hasn't proven her point. She hasn't done anything. This was just a spectacular L. Stupidity like this.
I live in California, so I don't.
Like you said,
I don't
you said,
get a
"Let's
chance to
choose the best man to win."
Yeah. Well, usually isn't.
I didn't even peep that, but yeah, she did get her on that. Everybody's seen it. I didn't see that either. But yeah, that is a good point.
And this is something that
Got
you can
him.
say is a but yeah, but
Can I
mean,
ask you why men should be able to vote, just so I can hear an
Well, because-
example of what
Sure.
you're.
Well, because
They didn't want to hear her respond. They just like, okay, let's get off this broad.
men bear most of the burden of responsibility in society. Men have to go to war. Men have to go and fight wars. Men build all of the infrastructure around you.
So you think it's all based on who gets drafted? What
Well, that's
about-
one component, but also
The
building.
draft
you
is
Do you
not
think
even
that
around.
women who go to
It's a very-
war
it's a
should
very- it's a
be an
very key-
exception
Yeah, do you
to
think-
voting?
Yes, probably.
draft
yeah.
isn't even a thing.
If you serve your country, I'd say that
Fair
could
enough.
probably be an exception.
Oh, okay.
I don't
But I'd say it's a key component though. Being
Okay. That's a sound thing to say. It's like, listen, with the exception of if you fight for the country, then yeah. Once again, I don't entirely agree with this guy, but that is a poignant thing to say. I mean, because her justification for her right to vote was that her father and grandfather fought for the country. So there's definitely a correlation between fighting for the country and a right to vote.
being drafted.
Do you
It's not a
think
small
women
deal.
play a vital role in our society, though?
Yes, but this is where it gets interesting, because I don't look at the right to vote as like a either I'm like human or I'm not human. I don't look at that as in any way you're in.
Okay, now he's using her as a whipping girl. Now he's just like, because now he's talking to somebody else, but he went back to her argument and countered her argument.
Intrinsic value is your right to vote. I think that people have value, but in different ways. I think that it's men's job to be in politics. It's men's job to run society. We're less neurotic. We're less agreeable. We're better leaders. We're more physically capable, and that we are the ones who play these dirty games.
Lol Paladin's friend donated $200. This blonde escort, now sweating, staring out into the void, realizing her past sins are finally catching up with her. Do you honestly think she's still in the running for that high-value man now?
Do you want to respond to that?
Who is he asking? Do
You're the blonde
I
escort.
thought we agreed we were done.
you think she's
Well,
still in the running? Obviously,
paid
nobody
$200
in this
yeah.
panel
Sorry.
thinks I'm in the running for a high value man, but I do have high value men in my life, and I don't agree. So, teach their own.
Cool.
Would you say that your dad's a high value?
Okay. That was definitely personal. There's history there on this panel that I didn't see.
Man,
Yeah,
and he supports your sex work.
he does.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Which is
Anyways,
next
where were we? So men build all of the infrastructure around us. Men are
I'm not
better
the one
leaders.
with
I think that
parents who support sex work, but that's okay.
men belong in politics, and I think that actually we do women a massive disservice, because women's role generally in society, if we're looking at what's fruitful, is to reproduce and is to
I
be
agree.
mothers. That's the primary role of a woman. And I think that the primary role of a man is to protect and provide. And along with that is all of those disgusting things like fighting wars, doing politics, playing the game of chess that is politics. And women in their best form, I think it's just a fact, is raising children. And if you can channel whatever power that you have as a woman into a family, there's nothing better that you can do.
I
You don't
agree.
need to be in politics.
I will
Agreed.
say that there are outliers, because we can look at the Bible and see that there are outliers, but I think there are too.
Agreed. I agree with this guy wholeheartedly. I mean, I don't think that. Okay, when he says that it's a distraction, I agree. I think that if collectively women were intelligent, they would not be distracted by that, but they're not, because they're being able to be led into things like feminism in mass. So definitely agree with what he was saying, though. It's like, listen, your contribution to this, to really humanity, but we're going to focus on like just this country, is child rearing, is, bringing children into this world and nurturing said children. Now, since the right to vote, they have lacked in that job, like to a ridiculous degree. And here's the harsh truth. We care if humanity is perpetuated. We do. We care if humanity is perpetuated. And we also care if our individual bloodline continues, our individual legacies, and if our nation, which is, part of our legacy, as part of our works, we care about these things. Women have proven in recent generations that all that's important is personal comforts, meaning that if they have a career where there's a good quote unquote work-life balance, then they don't need a man, they don't need family, they don't need blah, 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 because it's all about what they want. Humanity will end with a bunch of childless women sipping mimosas during brunch. And that is the unfortunate truth of it. I mean, look at Korea, look at Japan, look at the US. And then look at what I call the broke ass countries. Look at the broke ass countries. And there's a correlation. The broker the country is, the higher the fertility rate. The wealthier country is, the lower the fertility rate. Why is that? Because once you give a woman, everything she wants, she has no need to give you what you want, and that's children. That's a future. Somebody said, like who? Okay, so I'm going to type in country with the highest fertility rate. And I'm pretty sure it's not Switzerland. So hold on. Country with highest fertility rate. All right. 2024. Niger. Not to be confused with where Ike is from, Nigeria. It is a lesser known country in Africa. It's Niger. With fertility rate of 7 children per Niger woman. Okay. Now let's look up their GDP. Niger GDP per capita. Ours is $585.40. Let's see what Niger's is. Okay. Oh wait, Niger's is $585.40. So, oh, that's in USD. Got it. Okay, so, all right, so they're $585.40. Let's look up Korea. No, let's look up Japan. So, Japan has a very low fertility rate, but their GDP per capita is $33,823.57. Their GDP is about 66 times that of Niger. Do somebody still think that there isn't a correlation between how wealthy a country is to their fertility rate? When bitches get spoiled, they have less babies. I repeat, when bitches get spoiled, they have less babies. I repeat, when bitches get spoiled, they have less babies. One more time. When bitches get spoiled, they have less babies. That felt good. When bitches get spoiled, they have less babies.
Too many women who want to be an outlier, but they have none of the characteristics of an outlier. So it's kind of like goes into the whole delusional thing. People think that they're more attractive than they are and all of that. And it's like everyone wants to be an outlier now, but that's not, they're outliers for a reason. They're rare.
You say that men usually have those traits, right? That's why in America, we have the system of if you went to prison because you committed a crime, you get your vote stripped away from you because we've decided that if you commit that, you don't have the brain capacity or whatever the right words would be. But women, like, just as I'm able to spit my opinion right now, and I lean more Republican, right? But I don't think that has to do.
Girl in the lime green, shut the blank up, idiot. Have a conversation like the others are trying to have. If you want equal rights, sign up for the draft.
What was the last?
Dang. And you are trying to sell swirling. You are trying to be the poster girl. 51 years old. You're trying to be the poster child for swirling. And this is how white men think of you. If he was born in 77, that makes him like, what, 46, 47? So he is within your age range. Wait, huh? U.S. Americans didn't have maps. You gotta flesh that out for me, Ike. But they're basically calling you an idiot. Nobody's trying to swirl with you, sweetie.
You said?
Does someone the last statement?
You lean Republican.
Oh, I said I lean Republican. I don't think.
Yeah, but you also mentioned about the prison system, and that's a good system in the sense that people who commit bad crimes. But doesn't that just show you that democracy is malleable? Democracy is not this sort of overarching thing where everybody has this human. You can take away the vote from people if it benefits society. If you don't want a criminal voting, then you can take away that vote.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But women, like, also, like, they're not really playing like a good society role. Obviously there's circumstances, but
I think that
well, it could be argued, and this is something separate. I don't think he's going to make this argument. Is that women are controlling the rules because they control the votes, so they're not in prison. Like, there's a point to be made for that.
Saying women, if I have to pay taxes, I went through the school system.
Now you're losing the momentum that you gained because a prisoner, chances are, went through the school system, and they do continue to pay taxes.
Still dealing with inflation. I still have to pay gas. I still have to do all these things, and I want to say in how I live. I want to say for how my children grow up. And you say like men are more rational, but you're talking to a group that seems to lean more to the right. So it's a matter, maybe.
Look, I think
Does everyone on the panel think that women should have the right to vote? All the girls, all the women?
I do.
Yes.
Wait, Jake, one thing really quick. I don't know if you made this argument because I was gone for a bit. You mentioned like women pay taxes, ergo women should vote. But if you look at women as a collective, they're actually a net negative. Like they take out far more in taxes than they put in. So men are the only ones that actually contribute collectively.
Everything is taxed, even I'm not disagreeing with that, but everything's taxed.
Right,
The money I make from going to work, the
Sure.
things I buy, if I want to go buy an iPhone, like I'm still getting taxed on the phone. Like I still pay taxes. Like
Right,
even
but
if-
so women take out far more in taxes collectively than they put in, whereas men are the only net positive when it comes to the tax system.
The way you're
That's a
filing.
So he brings up an interesting point. First of all, I don't really go off of this net taxpayer thing as it applies to women, simply because there's sales tax and women buy more crap and they use men's money to do it, but they buy more crap. They buy like a lot of stuff. I don't think that that's taken into consideration. And they also encourage male spending. You know, anybody with an expensive car, yes, the man bought it, and yes, the sales tax on that car, you know, will on paper say, you know, okay, men spent this, but he spent it for women. So it's really hard to say in that regard. She's not going to make that point. I doubt it.
The way you're
Can I
filing
have a
taxes.
question?
No,
is what I'm
Brian?
saying.
I'm saying that that's a generalization though. I'm not taking money from the
Look,
government.
Again,
I mean-
this is even my.
Now, there is a point, and maybe he's onto something, to where if a person, a non-disabled veteran, were to receive a certain amount of government assistance, then perhaps they should be able to vote, more, both men and women. Because at that point, in my opinion, you're being paid to vote. Like once your livelihood is dependent on the system, then you're compromised. You're corrupt. You know, it's like you're basically voting for your own paycheck at that point.
I'm
I'm
fine
not-
with.
I'm
Can I
not
try
saying
to find some
that.
middle ground?
I'm
with the
fine
ones
with women
who-
voting.
Well, I just want to know
Yeah.
in what way do women drain the system? Is it through childbirth or
I mean,
taking care
I
of
can-
kids?
Oh
I
my
mean-
gosh, he just explained it. He said in an economic way. I mean, now she's like, you know, oh, this is her way of saying, you know, we produce children, which is an argument she should have made before. But the counter to that argument is you're not producing enough children. Let's be clear. We have a unsustainable birth rate. While Niger has 7 children, let's see. We have 1.66. Now, keep in mind that, which means that we have 1 2/3 children per every woman, which means that we're not reproducing ourselves. This number also includes immigrants. So, you know, it's really lower if you're talking about women who are born here. Is significantly lower because immigrants tend to come from a different culture, like Niger, and bring the concept of 7 kids to this country, which is a good thing. So basically, Niger women are better than you, Chris and Karazin.
I forget the exact terminology, but tax net negative women. I'm gonna just Google it.
And please don't get something from the 1990s.
I'm just trying to look into.
It's probably the way that we file taxes, like head of household versus.
So it's men are net taxpayers, whereas so men pay taxes in the aggregate, women do not. Let's see here as to the reasons here. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory here. So
That's I can understand what you're saying with that. I'm not going to speak up something that I haven't researched and I don't know because I'm not just going to talk out my ass. But at the same time,
She's talking about Chris and Karazin.
feel like I have a good head on my shoulders, especially for my age. And when I drop my children off at school,
She's definitely talking about Chris and Karazin. She just said, especially for my age. That's an offhanded shot at the oldest person here. Kristen Carrison had liposuction, and I have no doubt that she's had plastic surgery done to her face. Absolutely. What's her name? What's the chick name who can't open her mouth? You know, she squeezed her mouth together, and then through the small, you know, unaltered part of her lips, she says, sprinkle, sprinkle. The chick that cannot smile. What's her name? Sprinkle, sprinkle woman. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And like you could see the artificial dimples that was put so they could put a string in her cheeks and pull it up. Like you can actually see it. Yeah, she's in the same lane as that chick. Yeah, Shira 7, exactly.
I don't want them learning certain things that are like that I don't agree with, and I want to have the vote on that. If Kamala was whatever president, and she's telling Planned Parenthood to,
Somebody said, is that really her? Are you kidding me? Okay. Maybe it's because I live in California. Certain things, I'm not saying I'm the best at spotting stuff, but that is obvious. That is obvious. Somebody who can't smile, she's not moving her lips correctly. That's what women who have work done are like. They can't move their lips correctly. They can't move their face correctly. They don't lift their eyebrows right. You can tell. Like hers is obvious. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
give out free birth control without my knowledge. I don't want that to happen. And
yeah, so I reckon somewhere you could find middle ground is that. Do you want to quickly ask me a question before we do this?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you personally believe that women should not have the right to vote?
Yes.
What the hell?
Do you personally believe that?
After all this time, so are you trying to say that women shouldn't have the right to vote? Holy crap. Holy crap, they shouldn't have the right to speak on panels like this, apparently. Said, or people after a stroke. Yes, if you are a person who hasn't had a stroke, and typically that only affects one side of the person's face, one side is lasered than the other, whichever side the stroke happened on, whichever side of the brain the stroke happened on, which she's just symmetrically messed up. It's because it's surgery.
Yes.
So
I agree with you, actually.
So what kind of government would you call that?
Well, you could still call it a representative democracy, but only men vote.
How is that
People get stripped of their.
What would you call that government? It's the same government they called it before women had the right to vote. And she's still stuck on this. Look at the look on the women's faces. They're like, oh, this broad is just resetting the conversation because she keep losing and she's just going back for more.
Of their rights to vote all the time.
No, but you're talking about.
People do that. You ever knew somebody like in junior high? Because adults don't do stuff like this. A dude in junior high that got his ass kicked and then wanted to fight the next day, get suspended from school and then come back wanting to fight again. Like, he just keep going until he finally gets a win.
%50 of the population. We're not talking about a few felons here and there. We're talking about the entire swath of, like half of.
I'm aware. You don't have to explain it.
So what?
Looked into
so
it.
So if you have half.
Yeah, you don't really have to explain that females are more than 0.5% of the population to a person that's not an idiot. You really over-explain that.
Of the country not being represented, what is that government called?
Well, it's still called a representative democracy, but less people vote.
No. How can it be a representative democracy when there's literally millions of people who are not being represented?
Well, that's happening right now. Children can't vote.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you, what kind of government is that?
I'm just told you, but you're not accepting my answer.
I think that it's more totalitarian government, then it's not a democracy. A democracy.
How is it not a democracy when you're voting? Holy crap! Where did they find this chick?
See, first of all, the United States of America is not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Yes, I do
So,
understand that.
you guys just have a you have a system where you have a democratic vote, but it's not a pure democracy. And obviously, democracy isn't like utopia. You know, democracy isn't this idea of heaven. Democracy is just a political system.
Yeah, but we're not.
It's not like a flawless political system, so it needs to be adjusted. So the idea.
You're the one to do it.
Well, we can talk about it. We'll have our different ideas. If you have your ideas, you can say them. And you know, saying to me something like, "Well, you want to fix," a good argument for you.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing.
I think you have good ideas, so let's talk on the merit of the ideas
Okay.
rather than.
I think.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this: is there any possibility in this conversation?
By the way, totalitarian, I can't say the word, but y'all know what I mean. It's like a dictatorship, which is what America wouldn't be, and it's what America wasn't, even before the 19th Amendment. Even before that, it wasn't a total, like George Washington wasn't dictator of America. Abe Lincoln was not dictator of America. This is just insane. Yeah, she is getting just beaten by a foreigner on American politics. This is wild. We live in a totalitarian democracy right now. Okay, I don't agree with that person.
That I could be wrong, or you could be wrong, or I could be right, and you could be right.
Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna have a real conversation.
This dude said, "Oh my God, repeal the 15th Amendment too." I told you, when you find yourself in this situation, just shut up.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Okay, all right, that's good.
We go
So-
around and ask everyone.
Yeah.
I think.
So I think that in terms of finding common ground, I think that one way that would be actually pretty effective is having a vote for the home rather than the individual vote. Because when you look at the value of men and women is obviously very different when it comes to fighting wars and then putting a home. If you had a vote where it was there was one vote per household, but it was the husband who did the vote, then that would make a lot of sense. Because if you did want to,
Beelster77 donated $200. For the Americans, who is everyone voting for the next election and why?
I'll just finish that off. If you did want to vote, and if it was so important to you, then you could get married and be a part of a family, and you and your husband could make that decision.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the statement, but do you think that be married?
I think having a vote in the home, in the nuclear family, would be a good idea.
Right.
Now, that is a good question. And it touches on what Crystal and Kevin was saying before. We produce children. It's like, well, we want to make sure that you are producing children, or in the process of, and that you're doing so in a healthy way. So if you are in a marriage and you're producing children within that marriage with the person that you're married to, then yeah. But for women who are single and childless, they're not even contributing children, well-adjusted children, to non-bastard children to the country, which is the greatest contribution you can make, and you're not contributing that, then perhaps we should rethink it. Keep in mind that the right to vote was given to women that made that contribution. It was given prior to the baby boom.
But
Because that's the best representation.
I'm
of
saying for a
society.
single person.
So how does that work for somebody like me, for instance, where I was married before? And now
Single
I'm
women,
divorced?
no. Single men, yes.
Okay.
So
There you go.
that's not a family voting. It's basically just men
Well,
voting.
like I said
but
before,
they
men,
pretend to
women,
listen to the women. I mean, but that's just, I feel like that's a lie. Like that, to phrase it as something that you don't actually mean. Like, can we agree on that? That's not what you
I'm
meant.
not 100% sure what your point is, because I've made the
my
argument for
point
like the
about
last
what
half
I
an
think
hour.
you're like saying is that you said that married women, so the man just goes in. It's kind of
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like
The man
it's
is the head
kind
of
of
the
like,
household.
here's $1 and then I'm giving $1 million to that person, but saying it's equal.
No, it's
Like,
just,
it
the,
doesn't
it's
make
just
sense.
the idea that the man is the head of a household and the man does
So
does
men
the vote.
only should vote those. So you're just rephrasing
Oh,
it
she
in
got
a
a
way
pen
that
and
makes
pad.
sound like
The-
better to women is what it is.
Uh-oh, she got
you're
a
part of
pen and
family
pad.
unit,
This woman
and the
thinks
man
she's a lot
represents the
smarter than
family,
she
and he
is.
casts his vote on behalf of the family.
Y'all see that she went behind her and grabbed a pen and pad?
Correct, but you said
has
single
the final
men
say.
should be able to
Yeah,
vote.
because single men can get drafted, and single men build the infrastructure around you.
I got to move things on a little
Yeah.
bit here, but I think women should vote, but I also think they should be drafted. In fact, for equity's sake, they should actually.
Basically, here's the nutshell. Here's what he's saying. If you are a man, you must be able and willing to commit masculine value to society in order to be granted the right to vote. If you are a woman, you must give feminine value to society before you are granted the right to vote.
Actually be the only ones drafted and forced to fight in.
What if there was a pregnancy draft? I wish I was on there. I'd ask that question. If there was a baby draft that women had to sign in order to vote, would they sign it? And let me make a better stipulation. If there was a non-bastard baby draft that women had to sign in order to vote, would they sign it? Which means that somebody could say, like, listen, your fertility rate is 1.6. We require that it becomes 2.8. Meaning that I am going to require that a number of you that we select have babies. In marriage. I mean, if you ask a man to risk his life, then, it's only fair to ask women to create the lives that they're asking them to risk.
Wars for the next 1,000 years or so, that would be equity to me. So I think we do that. Going
a
to
terrible idea.
going to the TTS, going to the TTS that came through for the Americans. Who is everyone voting for the next election? Why? This is Belster, Belster 77. Thank you for the TTS. Appreciate it. Who are you voting for, and quickly why?
Kamala, because I want to.
Okay.
Trump, because he encourages American.
At least she knows not to speak. I don't think that she's the brightest, but at least she knows not to speak. She only answers direct questions to her. CK, she just keep talking and looking stupider and Jupiter, which is a planet, not like Pluto, but she just kept going with it. Kamala, because I want to.
The Belster 77. Thank you for the TTS. Appreciate it. Who are you voting for, and quickly why?
Kamala, because I want to.
Okay.
Trump, because he encourages American manufacturing.
Trump.
Trump. Trump.
Trump.
Doesn't matter. I live in California.
Okay.
I pass. It doesn't matter.
Crystal and Karis. I know you're watching, by the way. I know you're watching. Are you retarded? I live in California too. Are you retarded? is a fair question. That's why he just moved on. Because that was the dumbest answer coming from the most opportune. That is the worst. You are the worst person to have answered the question in that way on this panel. That was the worst answer you could have possibly given. All things considered. But I'm going to break down why that's a terrible answer. The main reason that answer just shows how stupid you are is because you just fought for your right to vote just to say it don't matter. You freaking idiot. Basically, the last 15 to 20 minutes was you saying, we should vote, my father fought, my grandfather fought, we should vote. How dare you take away our humanity? We should vote. I should have the right to vote. I'm a human being. I should have the right to vote. I was born in America. I should have the right to vote. We were hosed on the street. I should have the right to vote. Oh, I'm in California, so it don't matter. Are you a spectacular moron? I could not create a cartoon character of somebody stupider than you. That was what in the world? That is worlds of stupid. That was worlds of stupid. Oh, my head hurts. Hold on. I gotta get some water. I'll be right back, y'all. No, that's not water. All right, I'll be right back, y'all. God dang, fucking. Dang it. All right. Oh, that was spectacularly dumb. They don't even expect intelligence now. He just moved on to the next person. She obviously did that to get a reaction, but, you know. I get it, California being a blue state, you know, but, Jesus.
I don't actually vote. My dad votes for me, and I just sign the ballot. Been doing it since I was 18, but I'm pretty sure it will say Trump.
Okay. All right.
I like her. If you are trying to sell black vajayjay to white men, you have failed. And you have lost to a pregnant woman. She is a full-time housewife whose daddy vote for her, literally. You see, when women say, I don't really want the right to vote, I don't need the right to vote, what they're saying is, I trust in the leadership of the men. I trust in the leadership of the men of society. I trust in the leadership of the men in my life. What Crystalline Karazin has made blatantly clear is that she don't trust in the leadership of men. But this woman did. And she was proud to say it too. Like, yeah, my daddy votes for me. I just sign it. I blindly signs the ballot that my dad gives me. How are you going to compete with that on a swirl level? You can't beat a pregnant bitch. Like, damn.
All right. Let's see. We have Dylan.
The overwhelming majority voted for Trump. Just saying. That's another thing. All these white women voted for Trump. That does not look good for Kamala. I'm from California.
What I'm saying is letting it flow. Like, I'm agreeing. Like, it's not 3 dates, 2 dates, or whatever it may be, but just let things happen the way they're supposed to.
And the way that it's supposed to happen is that we're meant to go on the first date,
Whatever,
and you're meant to be, and you're meant to be simpy, and it's meant to mean a lot to you.
I feel like honestly,
I don't even know what a simp
Go off.
Simp means unrequited attention.
Unrequited attention.
So you don't want to
Wait.
request?
that means that they're like pining for this man
Yes.
24/7 all
She
the
needs
time.
to
with
be
that
obsessed.
level of interest?
Simping is like totally like
depends on you. Hold on, we have to get
obsessive.
one
Like, oh my
person
God, I
speaking at
need
a time.
them.
I just think that that's a
simping is-
very unrealistic expectation considering you guys yourselves say that women have way more options than men do. So how are you expecting that you're going to find this woman
Yes,
who is
exactly. So
obsessed
It's
with
more
you?
valuable.
If they're not simping, it means that they're out here playing the fields and they've got all these different options, and you
I'm
don't really
not.
mean much to them.
I'm not.
But that you're
Girls
not
gotta-
actively
Give her the
dating.
ugly
But
girl.
when I
Girls gotta
when I
say.
am when I am with someone, I am all like.
Let me ask you
that's
guys
it,
something.
All in.
In the dating phase.
There you go.
No, I am. If I'm in a relationship,
No,
I'm
no.
like.
Me too.
No. All in
Dating.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
All in
When if I
immediately.
commit like that.
Okay.
yeah.
But that's how women.
All
But I'm
in.
saying like right now, I haven't.
I want you to
dated.
show up at my
I'm in
front
a
door.
twilight
after
zone
the
right
first
now.
date.
But I want to after one
I
date,
wanna
she's
talk
supposed
about-
to.
Wait, one at a time.
I
One
want
at
to
a
go
time.
over and like get on her knees for you for after
Wait,
one
play the
date.
bow video. Play the bow
Just
video.
got his favorite part.
Play the
I want
bow.
that.
All right, one at a time.
If I
Immediately.
commit like that.
Okay.
But that's how women.
All
But I'm
in.
saying like right now, I haven't.
I want you to
dated.
show up at my
I'm in
front
a
door. after the
twilight
first
zone
date.
right
No,
now.
but I want
That's after one
I
date,
wanna
she's
talk
supposed
about-
to.
you want me to,
Wait,
like,
one
follow
at a
you?
time.
I want to
One
go
at a
over
question.
and like get on her knees for you for after
Wait,
one
play
date.
the bow video. Play the bow
Just
video.
got his favorite part.
Play the
I want
bow.
that
And
bow.
I think you need a new
Date
bow
two.
video because this one
Here,
is
why don't you?
getting
We'll
overdone.
record it on the podcast right now.
I'm
Stand
not
up, hit
giving
the bow.
you a bow.
Rude.
No.
Rude.
I'll
No.
give you a bow once after you go into my cold plunge.
Instant simping is
Jake,
what we want. Yes.
you were responding to this and then we got off topic.
Okay, I was
so-
saying
Okay, we'll get back to
in the first few dates, in the dating phase, do you think that it's more natural for the woman to be the one who is adoring and who is looking up to the guy, or do you think it's the guy who's meant to be? Do you think it's the guy who's meant to be chasing?
No.
But here's
That's
the
not
thing,
a
guys,
yes or no
we're
question.
the romantic ones and this and that, but now you're saying, well, not
Men
you.
are hunters. They are supposed to pursue the women.
I do agree.
I think that
you're
you
supposed
guys
to
are
pursue,
saying one
but-
thing, but if you guys had somebody who was simping on you, and if you weren't returning the attention, they're just texting you all the time, you would be turned off by that.
No, I
but
wouldn't.
But if you're
If they were texting
yeah,
us all
every
the
woman
time,
says this,
I
but then-
will.
but then
I wouldn't because
Jake is
I know what it
100%
feels
right.
like reversed and on the other hand of things. So I am coming from a place of experience. Now,
So are we.
why the heck would I not want someone that I actually want to be in a relationship with? Because again, I'm dating with intention. Heck yeah, I want that.
not be
Are
obsessed with you.
I would
mean?
love
A guy
for
to be
that
obsessed with you.
to happen.
The white women are really saying stuff that men want to hear. While Kristen Carrison is trying to get a word in edgewise, and as Swirlers is, you want me to get on my knees on the first date? And the answer is yes. But you're not really selling the concept of swirling at all. Of course they're lying, but at least they're telling you what you want to hear. She's not even smart enough to do that.
Happen and you know it's not a question or it's not me trying to play mom, you know, on
You
a
see, I think that
relationship.
women generally tend to want a man who's on his purpose and whose main goal is his purpose in life, and they can sort of jump on and be a part of that journey. Whereas men want to be on their purpose and they want a woman who's going to come along for the ride.
And
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
why I
And
don't.
I agree.
So then
Yeah.
you agree with what I'm saying is that the woman.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna pick you up in the airport the first time before we meet.
Okay, then I guess
But
it's
we
not,
can
not,
talk
not
about
to
it.
be.
Oh, well, I just want to know, like, why is it?
I'd
why
pick
is
you
it
up from
so
the airport, though, by the way.
important
That's
for-
it's reciprocal.
I'm just-
Go on.
Why is it so important for women to kind of like make themselves smaller for you to feel comfortable? Like,
Wait,
I don't think it's
Smaller?
actually making themselves
Yeah. I don't
smaller. I
think
think
it's
that it's
smaller.
actually
No, if the
seamlessly
first
going into
date-
into the natural way that relationships should be.
She's doing terrible. She is doing terrible at selling a concept of swirling. The white men that are trying to get away from white women are trying to get away from stuff like that. You are obviously anti-submission. You are obviously anti-submission. And here you are trying to sell swirling. But it's like, listen, you're making it clear that you're not going to submit. Why would a guy want to be with you?
With the man as the leader, and the
Women are
him
supposed to be
trusting and
submissive in
But
the
I actually
relationship.
do agree with
Yeah.
you, Jake. But what I'm saying is that this is not something, this is not information that you establish within less than 10 hours of meeting somebody. Something
You
as
don't
important
know
as how
that.
you're going to do that for the rest of your life. And so I don't know who these people are. Maybe, I don't know how you get that data. Maybe you've got the AI chip for something, but it takes a while. It takes months for you to get to know somebody, because people
Speak
will
for
be
yourself.
Yeah, I
on
think
their
everybody's different with
You know,
that.
listen, I
Everyone's
Wait, no. Hold on. Didn't you say?
Wait a minute. Did y'all see the way the white women reacted when she said months? Yeah, when she's not pregnant, she could get it. She can get it. When she said her daddy votes for her, every man press 1 in the chat. Press a capital D in the chat if when she said my daddy votes for me, you want it to be her daddy. Press a D in the chat, a capital D in the chat. If when she said my daddy votes for me, you want it to be her daddy. Now, while y'all do that, I'm gonna go back a little bit because I want y'all to see the reaction of the white women when she said a month.
Important is how you're going to do that for the rest of your life. And so I don't know who these people are. Maybe, I don't know how you get that data. Maybe you've got the AI chip or something, but it takes a while. It takes months for you to get to know somebody, because people will be on their.
Y'all see the look on the woman's face? Look at the woman in the pink when she said it takes months.
People are maybe, I don't know how you get that data. Maybe you've got the AI chip or something, but it takes a while. It takes months for you to get to know somebody, because people will be on their. Listen,
everyone's.
Wait, no. Hold on. Didn't you say you went on a date with a guy who was prepared to spend like $7,005 on you or something?
Yeah,
he was prepared to simp. We want that.
And I dated him,
but not financially necessarily.
I dated him
emotionally.
Holy crap. So the title of this video, what swirlers don't want white men to know. Crystalline Kerosene is obviously gold digging niggas. Black men have seen through her game a long time ago. Wait, $7,000? But we dated a long time, which really means that you just spent more of his money. You just got more of his money. Y'all just dated. It wasn't, oh, holy crap. Holy crap. She is not selling the concept of swirling well. She basically said that she dinner whored a nigga out of $7,000. And continued to do it. And then she said, so after spending the $7,000, she hit you with the, oh, I don't know you that well. Are you freaking kidding me?
I think an emotionally intelligent man is worth more than anything.
He was prepared immediately. Here's a fuck ton of money, basically. Now, I'm not saying men want the money, but we want.
I think what y'all are saying is what's best for men.
Exactly. It's
and
not
that's
best
what's
for
best.
women.
What's best for men is best for the relationship.
Well, here's the thing. This is also how women get taken advantage of by the fuck boys.
And this is why these gender wars just keep happening, because you guys say fuck shit like that.
What fuck shit? What you say some fuck shit. You say some fuck shit.
She's out of here.
Fuck shit.
I'm back. Can I?
She has to urinate.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Go off, queen.
Okay.
Okay. So wait, you're religious, right? Okay. So from a religious standpoint, women simping for men and women adoring men is actually the way that God
after
the Bible.
Put another D. Put another D if you want to be her daddy. Okay. So the only convincing of swirling that's going on is the black men that now want to swirl with her. She just said, biblically speaking, we should be simping for men. What the hell? Yeah.
Proven themselves to actually be like taking her on.
Well,
Here I am. I have proven myself. Proceed to simp.
This thing is
No,
proving
and
herself.
What are you doing? What are you doing to prove?
I don't have to. I don't think you.
I will admit, whenever I am in a relationship, I simp to my man 100%. When I'm in a relationship,
But if you like him, you'll start simping right away, and he'll know that you like
Ah.
him.
you know, now that y'all say that, I don't know. Maybe y'all are right.
I mean, I've never officially like dated.
Dang, she is killing. She is killing. She is just killing the D's.
But I'm just saying, like every guy that I've ever liked.
Brian, I know you're gonna hate this, but I do have another show tomorrow. So are we wrapping up soon?
What?
Because he doesn't like when girls go
Tell
on
you
2
what,
dates in a row.
I will wrap the show up sooner if you just admit fucking you are
I am curious what time it is.
motherfucking
I mean, I'm enjoying it.
I watched that.
B. She was a hua. So, do you want to admit that you're what's the show, by the way? Just curious.
Okay, enough.
Let's not
Sorry.
It's an OnlyFans show.
Oh.
Is it with Ryan?
It thickens.
No, it's not a podcast. It's called Mixed Match.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing, right?
The same trick.
Is because you lied, you actually have to stay after the show and clean up the whole studio.
Bow?
So
Could she do a bow? Could she
that's
bow out?
not
She has
enough
to write it
redeem.
100 times on a chalkboard.
Not enough to redeem. Yeah, she's getting detention.
Right.
And expelled and suspended.
Dun, dun,
You know what? In fact, here, put this shit. Actually, busted this.
Is it a French maid costume?
Here, put this shit on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Wear that. Spin and
Someone spin that helicopter.
Ava, spin the helicopter. Go ahead, put it on.
That's so degrading.
Or Ava, spin the helicopter.
Why is it
It's not that
degrading? It's just a.
It's kind of funny.
No, it's not degrading.
Hold on. The only thing degrading, degrading is the video of her filleting a man on the internet.
Okay, so if she admits it,
Okay,
Put it on.
but she denies exists.
Okay, I see what happened. So I seen before where she got on and she said that she's an OnlyFans model or whatever they call themselves, but she only does clean stuff like lingerie and stuff like that. And apparently they fact checked it, and she's on there sucking peen. So now he's okay. That makes sense. Listen, most women who say that they're OnlyFans, but I only show my feet, chances are they are doing more. They are doing more. I don't have an OnlyFans account, but I do watch Pornhub for free. And what I see on Pornhub is people setting up for their OnlyFans. Like they do the little thing and then they say, if you want to see more, sign up for the OnlyFans, But yeah, so I know what it is. And I don't think that you're going to compete in that realm if you're just showing off your Victoria's Secrets and your feet. Some do, but not all.
But we've done the fucking.
I can't.
You don't deserve to wear it.
I want to wear
She
it.
gets to wear it.
It actually looks kind of cute on
It
you.
does.
No, it doesn't.
Put that clown music.
I think. Wait,
don't
put it
have
back on.
legs.
Are we done here?
No, we're gonna continue the show, and you'll sit there, I guess.
Should I leave?
Lead.
Oh.
No, it won't be called a rage. It won't be called a rage quit.
Before you leave,
if
if she what admits?
Admits.
Why don't you just admit that you're I found, bro, they found another BJ and an actual fuck video.
No.
Oh my
So
Just
she's
take
on
it.
there
Just
doing
fucking
porn,
admit it.
and
You
she's still
fucking
denying
degen.
it, even though they have the evidence.
Just fucking admit it. Watch, she's gonna go on this OnlyFans show tomorrow and be like,
I could hear you getting louder. It wasn't me. We watched until it was over. It wasn't me. Like, it's obviously you.
Yeah, I fucking lied that entire time. I'm a fucking.
She's laughing too hard, devious.
I'm a little strumpet. Just say
enough.
you're a strumpet. Say, Brian, I'm a strumpet.
strumpet?
Just say you're a strumpet. Go ahead.
Since you already did the thing the whole show,
Please
will you
don't.
admit it before you leave?
Throw
please?
crumpets under the
Please,
table.
please, I gotta
Do
hear
it,
you say
do
it.
it.
I need to
Do
hear
it
it.
for the girls.
No.
Bro, oh my God, there's a video of you in a bathroom with the red sink. Fucking admit to it, lady. The red sink?
There goes the smirk again.
Tell me the red
Oh
sink.
my God, that smirk.
Red sink.
Smirk.
A s-
It is a smirk.
You're having carnal knowledge in a bathroom with a red sink. Say it. Say it.
There you go. Say it.
Say it.
You should have asked what color
Hold
her
on.
sink is.
Hold on.
Do it.
Fucking do it.
Just
I'm
do
gonna let this shit play until you admit the shit.
Oh my God,
No, please.
Wait, is the audio?
All rage quit.
So just do it. Make your dreams come true.
Okay.
Just do it.
Now it's getting weird. This rod is not gonna. She's not normal. All right, let's see.
6. Oh.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar.
Can you put the hat on, please?
Stop.
Stop. Do that. Where were we? Where were we?
My notes.
You had a question about
I rage quit it
What?
just to go to the bathroom.
You did a pee rage.
And then I came back. Yeah.
So what was your thing really quick? So I can.
I
need to-
just think it's unrealistic for just because you see somebody and you're like he's like a caveman with his club and he's like hitting her over the head and dragging her back to the cave.
Chicks love that
Like,
shit.
listen, but let me just say this. Me and my guy, I was rotationally dating, and I told the guys, I said, listen, when I sleep with you, you'll know that I'm exclusive. I'm not sleeping with any of you because I'm being very intentional. And one guy rose to, the cream to the top. And 6 months, we got to know each other really well. And look what I'm wearing. So it works. It
The other
works to
guys
get
with
to know
bitch asses.
somebody, but like to
Holy crap! For those of you who don't know, that's not an engagement or a marriage ring. That is a promise ring. So basically after, and they've been together like 11 months at the time of this show. Yes, she's divorced and she found another person that waited 6 months for her 51-year-old pussy. And then gave her a promise ring. She is not selling black women to white men. What she's saying is you have to wait for this you have to wait 6 months for this 51-year-old pussy and buy me a ring. Who wants to be the purchaser of that ring right now? And it's a promise ring. It is not an engagement ring. It is not a wedding ring. It is a promise ring. It's holy crap. This chick is dizzy as fuck.
To get to know someone, and then I'm gonna just be honest with you. When we did have sex, it was freaking incredible. It wasn't awkward or anything.
Oh my God.
Because we'd gotten to know each other so well.
So the only reason why I don't completely agree with you is because I will admit that I said.
Nobody wants to hear about what your 51-year-old pussy do. And notice how she says it was incredible, but she's speaking from her perspective, not his. It was incredible for him. We don't know that, but it was incredible for me. She literally broke down all the reasons not to date black women. Yeah. This was an advertisement of how useless she can show up. Useless she can show up in a relationship. Yeah, exactly. Nobody who watched this is now more willing to date black women. You represent 100% of the black women on the path. You see, here, know this. Swirling black women can only compete with other black women. They cannot compete in a realm of white women. They can't. Swirling black women only compete with Keisha. That's it. That's the only, but everybody beats Keisha. That's like a race with a person in a wheelchair. Everybody beats Keisha on the dating market. Swirling black women only compete with Keisha. That's the only ones they can win with. She can't even beat a pregnant or a fat woman. This is terrible.
For my most recent ex, and look at how it turned out. You know, so that's
Yeah, me too.
yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
is this
no,
a-
I can see
no,
that.
this is something.
8.5 year guy?
No, that's my ex-husband. No.
Nobody
okay.
wants
Did
to
you sing
talk
for
to
him?
you. She's
After
definitely
we were in a no. I mean, it was 6 months, right? No physical intimacy, and then he was like, yeah, and then he was like, okay, I want to get married, and I was like, okay, then I caved, and then we eventually got married, and then had our
Okay.
son. And
Let me try to blast through the remaining notes here. You said, let's see, you agree with about 95% of what's said on the show. Back to people in general, including men, aren't traditional anymore. You say it's a woman's market currently. Not sure entirely what that means, but
y'all were talking about it
that
earlier.
women are selectors, essentially.
That women just have so many options. I don't think it's ever been a woman's market until the feminist movement. And I think that women have so many options now that they're just, I kind of feel bad for guys, honestly. I think they kind of get the shit end of the.
You see how she is even making her, and she's fat as hell. I mean, she looked like Roseanne 8, Rosie O'Donnell. She is just big. She is just, like she would just beat the hell out of Amy Schumer in a sumo match. This is just big. But she's still talking right. She's like, listen, I understand that feminism, was really made to, well, she didn't say it was really made to, but we all know that it was, to give women greater leverage in the dating market. Has nothing to do with all the crap that they were talking about. And she says, and it has, and we are still upset, and it's unfair to men. Crystalline Carrison does not care if it's unfair to men. She's like, give me $7,000 and I'll date you. But I dated him. I waited 6 months and here's my ring. It's like, okay, so you are benefiting from feminism, which was voted in by women like you who demanded the right to vote so you can have this type of leverage. That's killing the population. Swirl! She has just displayed everything that men, other than fat, she has, which she got, Crystalline Carrison had liposuction. Other than fat, she has been everything that a man don't want. Stupid, combative, self-righteous, and feminist, and gold digging.
The stick when it comes to dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said there are almost no traditional women, and it kind of sucks being a man right now, and men hate the fact that I'm overweight and I have options.
Oh, yes. A lot of guys get really mad because they say if you're a fat single mom that no man's going to want you or this and that. Doesn't matter if you're, have traditional values or what. And they get very upset because I'm like, I do have options.
That's really weird that they put that much energy into telling you that.
Well, that's what they say.
Who's they? They rate you that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh. This chick is annoying, too. This chick is annoying, too. They put that much energy. It's not much energy to say you're a fat single mom and you're far less desired than women who are not fat single mothers. Okay? I'm pretty sure there's brothers in the South that would tear that up. I'm pretty sure that, there's a bunch of Mississippi. I was born with big gums. I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of guys like that would still tear your shit up. But the point is that you are fat and you are a single mother and you're far less desirable than her and her. But you seem to be on par with this one. But why are they wasting so much energy? Bitch, you was here for 6 hours and 48 minutes talking about wasting energy talking. Shut the hell up with your Old Navy cargo fleece on. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, when you say you have, when you say you,
yeah, of course. Oh God, Kristen cares about to talk. Like, just like there's a new woman that turns 18 every day, there's a new man that get out of prison every day. So yeah, let that sink in.
you have options. What does that mean?
I have men who are pursuing me, and actually,
Currently? Interesting. That's good. Let's see. You said that you tell people all the time.
All right. Apparently I'm buffering, so let me stop for a second.
It's the traditional fours time to shine. We now have a shot at marriage and a family. Men can be mad all they want, but the reality is feminism ruined women and porn ruined men. Public schools is exactly what I would have a very different financial situation. Your child did not.
Okay, let me stop right there. There's nothing more depressing than being married to a fat bitch, except being married to a fat nigga. Like, as a man, I think the only thing worse than being married to a fat bitch is if you're in prison and a fat dude came and said, I like you and I want you. Now we gonna do this the easy way, or we gonna do this the hard way? And then, like, 8 dudes with knives is just standing behind them. Yeah. I think that's the only worst scenario. So of course he drank. He drank until you looked like Kelly Stamps. He has to drink to fuck you. Don't you see that? He has to drink in order to fuck you. It is buffering. Okay, let's give it some time. All right, there we go. I'm gonna give it some more time. Yeah, I see the stream is frozen. All right, there we go.
How women leave good relationships over feelings and statistics. How we discuss this. And statistics are thrown out being the. But even those statistics and you remove the ones from abuse, infidelity, and abandonment, it's a lot closer to 50-50. You were a biotech major, and I'm really good with statistics because I had to use it a lot in my field. Statistics are a good way to manipulate people if they don't understand them. As much as I am for traditionalism, I'm for honesty and looking at the genuine picture and climate of society. I mean, I'm not sure how you came to it being.
She has a point there. Statistics, if done with nefarious intent, can be manipulated to make almost any point to people who don't know it. I worked for a company that was a person's job. It was a person's job to make factual statistics in a favorable way. So she does have a point there.
Being 50-50?
I said closer to. So when you remove, and remember earlier about the 23, I believe it's 23% with abuse, even if you removed a third of that, because people claim abuse and it's not really abuse. But even if you look at these statistics, it is closer to 50-50 unless you're getting into the higher education. Then it is very much so skewed on the women's side. The higher the education, the more likely she is.
Well, what do you think about this one? So if you look at
time with this, but I think I got this in a reasonable time. So AR sent a $10 Cash App. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to mention your Cash App by name or the name that you want me to give, then just go ahead and put yourself, shout yourself out in the chat, and I will do that. But this looks like your real name, so I'm not going to say it. I'll say your initials, which is AR. And KW is who it came from. So if you want, go ahead and shout yourself out, but greatly appreciate you. Let me see if there's any more. Hey, anybody get a Cash App that says emergency hotline? Oh, no, this is people that uses Cash App. Okay, my mistake. All right. Let's see. All right, appreciate you all. Once again, AR. Like the rifle. Oh, crap. Damn it. I spilled that water that I got a moment ago. Ah, damn it. All right, it didn't get on my computer stuff. Just got on my couch. Fucking put some kerosene. All right.
The incidence of divorce in homosexual relationships. So the incidence of divorce is the lowest amongst gay relationships. So when you have you have to just stay there and sit whole time. Maybe we'll get a bow later. Is it a quit? Are you?
I would do, but do you want me to? Because you keep asking me.
What do you mean?
All right, they're talking about this broad.
You can get some food after.
All right, let's see if we got some more juicy stuff. Then I'm gonna. There's a couple of more
Wait,
things.
so
I
is
want
it
to
a quit
cover.
or what?
Basically,
it's a quit. Is it the quit?
I feel like you're wanting me to by asking that. I don't want to be like disrespectful to the panel.
Oh no, I'm not asking. Go ahead, sit there and enjoy the rest of the show.
Then there's like a couple more
Serial thing for the
Then
TTS. Most embarrassing. We'll go around later. We have Techno Trooper. Ladies, be real for a sec. Do any of you still feel some type of way about an ex? Does their memory still hit you in the feels sometimes, even though you're with someone new now? Spill the tea. Going around the table on this. Go ahead.
I'm not with anybody new, but my most recent ex, I still like talk to him.
You said you've been single for 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's your most recent ex.
Yeah.
So you broke up a year ago, but you're still talking to him?
Sometimes, yeah.
How? You said you dated him for 1 year?
About, yeah. That was, no, my longest relationship was a year, but I dated him for like 8 months.
Okay. How often do you talk to your ex or whatever?
Like once a day. Just like a little, how's your day?
When's the last time you guys hung out in person?
Like when we broke up, we don't like hook up or anything like that.
Okay, enough with this foolishness. Let me stop sharing and get to the next series of foolishness. All right. So okay, give me a second. Oh, no wonder it's in the wrong place. All right. See, the benefits of talking to stupid people and listening to stupid people is that they speak on raw instinct, which gives you insight on what the instinct of people is. Because smart people hide they use their brain to override their instinct, or at least hide it from people that they don't want to know it. She don't have that ability. So we understand what her instinct is completely, and that is to market black pussy, or the possibility of it, to a different group of men. That's what swirlers don't want white men to know. And she has made that clear throughout the show. And she's willing to use politics, et cetera, politics, feminism, et cetera, in order to make this happen. Now, is it working? Well, let's take a look at this.
Seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to do it now?
We're doing this, and we see what happens next. You look great, by the way.
Size, it still was too big for my tiny fingers, both tiny fingers. And so I had that. I bought myself, congratulate myself when the pink pill courses really started to take off. And I thought it was such a beautiful, delicate ring. And then he said, if you want to wear the promise ring, why don't you put that ring on top of the other one? And so I did it, and they fit together like a puzzle. And then,
and you liked it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
a promise ring. Yes, exactly. In their 50s, and maybe he's in his 60s. In their 50s with a goddamn promise ring. And she is really just stunting with that ring too.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we can
do anything.
together?
generally speaking.
And this tough first, they weren't sure if they were gonna have to, because I wanted it to be a certain way and fit a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were able to do it. And so I've seen a picture of it, but I have not seen the actual physical transformation of these two rings into one promise ring.
Yes.
That I can definitely say that pink pilling my life got me here for sure.
For sure.
So putting that ring together along with a promise ring seemed apropos.
It's terrific. Beautiful. So
wait a minute. Is she saying that pink pill got her there? Twice baby mama, once divorced, getting promise rings in your 50s? Is that what pink pill will get you? Ladies, do you dream about getting promise rings in your 50s? First comes love, then comes baby, then comes love again, then comes marriage, then comes baby carriage, then comes divorce, then comes promise ring. Is there even a song like that? Is there a song like that?
we're in Santa Barbara, and we're looking forward to the unveiling of the promise ring. So the promise, I was having dinner with Grace, my daughter, last night, and she said, what's the difference between a promise ring and an engagement ring? I mean, aren't they the same thing? Like, why?
I love this. His daughter is like, she's not going to fall for the okie doke. Leave that to the black women.
And so we came up with this promise ring 3 months into being a couple, into being exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And
not like just about 3 months. I don't,
yeah. So just the timing was 6 months, and then we decided it's good. And the point of the whole thing is there's a time.
So she made you wait to hit it for 6 months.
And an unveiling and an unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
And so the promise is like, yes.
Now, notice also that in the beginning of the show, when they asked her the relationship status in the beginning of the other show, she said that we were together, it'll be a year next month. But really, y'all were only together for about 5 months. She wanted to make it seem like a year, that they were actually together, because she wanted to make it seem like she's a person that can be tolerated for a large period of time without fear of losing half your shit.
I want to get married. 2, I'd very much like to marry you. 3, we have to now progress in the feathering in of the insurance issues, which, how do we get
You're
along?
gonna have to explain to them.
So
basically, a promise ring means that, oh yes, this is a promise, but we have to see if we get along. Like it says in the chat room, buying his time in her pussy. That's what he's doing.
We just have to learn more about each other. Known each other for 90, been exclusive for 90 days, known each other for 9 months.
Oh my gosh! Next month it'll be a year. We've known each other.
We've been exclusive for 90 days, meaning that out of the 9 months that y'all have known each other, you've been hitting it for 90 days. I don't blame him for doing what he's doing, because what he wants to do is he wants to recoup his value. Like 90 days, the 6 months prior, he's been spending like a lot of time, money, and energy trying to get that pussy. So now he has to get enough in order to justify the time that he wasted trying to get it. This is sad.
October 17th, we met October 17th. They always try to trim it like, we've only been together 5 minutes. Bruh. We've been seeing each other since October.
It's so true.
No,
And women
no, y'all
typically
have
head,
only
so-
been together for 90 days. Y'all have only been together for 90 days. As you said in the other show.
and have a different mechanism going on. So for the guys, just so we know, it seems like we're trimming, but what's actually, at least for this guy, it's like, okay. Because when I commit, when I go, when I promise, I'm promising and I'm going to go do that. And so before you buy, what's the right metaphor? I mean, before you commit to something that's huge, married forever.
Definitely not getting divorced. Neither one of us
Never.
will ever
God
get
forbid.
divorced.
And for both of us,
Yeah,
a quarter
one
of
of
a
us is gonna die.
century.
One of us is gonna die.
Gotta die.
Yeah.
No, probably me.
I know.
I got her by 12
One of
years.
us is gonna
Only
die.
12.
We are not getting divorced.
No, exactly right.
And
So
we're going to be happy. So
yeah,
can I
we're
tell
happy
you,
now.
can I tell them what the promise ring
Sure.
means to me?
Of course.
For me, I have the security of knowing that we are definitely heading towards marriage. That
Holy
his
shit.
intentions are.
You don't know what security means. For me, a promise ring means that I have the security of knowing that we are heading in the direction of marriage. It means nothing. It means nothing. I know it means that we're going towards marriage. No, it doesn't. It means absolutely nothing.
Solid in what he wants to do, because it's one of those things where we always talk about intentional dating. I feel like with the promise ring, it's like intentional dating supercharged, and we've decided we're going to choose each other. I'm going to walk the path to prepare ourselves. Like, at least for me, I'm going to do the work so that, because I still have some things, I have some things I have to work through, psychological things. Like last summer, I found out my mom was psychotic. It literally psychotic.
Holy
and
crap.
What that must have done to me
growing up.
And me now trying to figure out like how that affects me and how I
Okay. So your mom's psychotic and you decided to share that with everybody. And she's like, my mom is psychotic, so how did that affect me? Well, it seemed to have made you a narcissistic bitch. I want you to think about what was just said. My mom is psychotic. How did that affect me? Yeah, let's overlook the fact that she just found out, which means that you are incapable of seeing psychotic behavior in others and very likely yourself. But let's stop there for a second, because we're going to talk about the N word, and I'm not talking about the other N word. I'm talking about the narcissism word. Like, it reeks of it. Your mom is suffering from a mental illness. And your response is, how does her suffering affect me? How does my mom's suffering affect me? How does my mom's suffering affect me? You found out something bad about your mom, and your first instinct was to switch it to yourself. Well, I'll tell you how I think it affected you. I think that, you went on a Half-Life hate campaign against a group of men because you were jilted 26 years ago. That's probably how it affected you. You're not selling the concept of swirling very well. Basically, what you're selling is, hey, if a woman is swirling and she's aggressively seeking white peen, then chances are her mama was psychotic. Now, let me just see. Let me just see something. Is being psychotic genetic? Oh, crap. I kind of knew when it auto-completed the word genetic that it was. But yes, it is genetic. So I type in, and y'all can Google this yourself, is being psychotic genetic? And the answer is yes. So while swirling, while trying to sell the black pussy to white men, you admit that you have psychotic genes. And fat genes and all kind of other genes. Like, your DNA is all fucked up. So let's see. Yes. Psychosis can be hereditary, but it's not the only factor that contributes to the development. Okay, so let's look at this. Genetic risk. All right. Other factors. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I'm going to read this. Having a parent or a sibling. Oh, well, you have a parent with psychosis, increase the likelihood of developing psychosis. Twin studies estimate the heritability of psychotic experience is between 30 and 50%. So it's between a 30% to 50% chance that you are psychotic. But, I mean, your behavior, anyway. All right. Psychosis can also be caused by differences in brain development, exposure to trauma, or stressors. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So when my baby daddy dumped me and now that's, or symptoms of mental illness like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or severe depression. Dang. They are just really, ooh. Most cases of psychosis are caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Some genes have been associated with psychosis, including NRG1. I don't know, what's that? Dysbindin G2. So basically, there's a bunch of genes that's making her.
Relate to people. So I have work still to do. So my promise is that I will do the work. So by the time we're ready to get engaged, I will be like when we could get married tomorrow. So
Now, I want y'all to know what she means when she says that. I'm 51 and I'm still not marriage worthy. Meaning that the 20 years that I was married, I wasn't worthy. Because you didn't do the work while you were married for 20 freaking years. You didn't do the work then. But now all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I'm going to do the work. Why? Because you're not working towards anything. You're not earning the ring at that point. You're not earning the wedding ring at that point. You just have it. But now you still have to earn it, and he knows it. That's why he's dangling in front of you like a carrot, and that's what the promise ring is. It's a carrot. It's saying like, yeah. Work on your psychosis, and then we could talk. This dude, I like this dude.
As opposed to like, oh, let's get engaged now and then see how it, and be engaged for 2 years. It's like, by the time we're engaged, it won't be like, it'll be okay, a month from now, 2 months from now, or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to rush.
Isn't her mom like 70? Her mom would and should be like 70 something. How do you just find that out now?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just more of a mentality.
Good. Anything
Yeah.
else on the promise ring?
And that I want to marry you, and I choose you after like
Yay.
6 months of, you know, of us-
Heavy vetting.
heavy vetting.
It's not 6 months of heavy vetting. In fact, after this, I'm going to go to another video. It's not 6 months of heavy vetting. Somebody says it's never too late. Listen, here's the thing. I don't know if you're talking about it's never too late to discover that somebody was psychotic. Okay. When a person is 70 plus, age is definitely a factor in their mental health. Meaning what they are now, any diagnosis you make has to be taken into consideration their age. So kind of like dementia. So it would be hard to say if in her 20s was different. It's just weird. I'm just leave it like that. And then not to mention it went 70 years undetected. Something is strange about the story. Now, the fact that she's in her 50s, and I think that this guy probably knows it on some level, but to get married now, the purpose of marriage is to start a family, create a family, and raise the children of that family in a together household. That's the purpose of marriage. They're not going to have any kids. So there really isn't much purpose. If they want to enjoy each other's company, they're still free to do so. So, yeah.
Which is wise. And so, yes.
Yeah.
She keeps saying like we were together for 6 months, but really it's been only 3 that they were actually intimate. Like the 6 months prior, she had a rotation and she was dating. She admitted that on the other show.
No, there were 4 in the collection, and he was the guy. He won.
Yeah, so she was dating. So 3 months ago, she was dating 4 guys. And he didn't necessarily win. He just, like the other 3 guys, just got tired of waiting for her pussy. He was like the last man that was there.
Winner.
You are the champion, my friend.
Bag. I'm really.
Oh my God, she looks like slavery. Y'all remember that scene from Django? The Big Daddy scene? That's her. She's looking like slavery. She looks like Bettina, I think her name was, on Django. Bettina, darling, why don't you just take good Django around this plantation and show him all the pretty sights? That there's the big house. We call it that because it's big. That's where Big Daddy keeps all his meat. Po little squirrels. That is what she looks like. She looks like slavery. Yeah, exactly. What you want. Holy crap.
Excited to see what's inside. I kind of know, but I haven't seen the finished product yet. So I'm going to am going to open it up this time.
Oh, it's not a
Back
house.
to
It's an
the
apartment
old
complex.
house.
Okay, that's the house.
The haunted house. Well, hopefully the spirit of what was this family? The Sextons? What was it?
Yes,
Hopefully the spirit of the family Sexton will bless this event. I'm sure they're still here.
This is amazing.
Whoa.
This is amazing. It looked like slavery on the inside. It looked like slavery on the inside too. Holy crap. This is spectacular. You are a gold mine of hilarious irony.
Wow. Hey guys, moment of truth.
If it wasn't for the light bulbs, I would swear that this was slavery.
I'm nervous. I'm feeling nervous right now. It's even wrapped some more. Oh my goodness.
She
I
is
shouldn't
putting
tear it
too
open.
much
Should I
on it.
should I torture you guys and like carefully peel it off or just rip it off? I'm gonna carefully peel this off. It's a special day. Normally I rip this stuff to shreds. That's the fun part of Christmas.
Okay, so
Even though it's not Christmas, that feels like it.
here, let me pause it for a second. So I can say your name then. Akil R. Akil R. Thanks for the Cash App, brother. Greatly appreciate you. I don't know if you was here earlier, but yeah, when I said AR, this is what I was talking about. I appreciate the Cash App, brother. Appreciate you a lot. All right.
Oh my goodness. And it's in this beautiful robin's egg blue box.
Holy, she is really just trying to sell the concept of it. This is spectacular. But somebody said there's a whole get out laboratory and a crew of white scientists in the basement. What the? Y'all cold blooded. I bet you it's a whipping post in that motherfucker. This is spectacular. It's like she did it on purpose.
Feels heavy. Okay. Put that right there. Okay. I can't believe how long I'm taking. I'm being so patient right now. Okay. I'm going to show myself first, and then I will show you.
They put a commercial on it. Hit the like button. Wow.
Oh.
That is the fakest reaction ever. Now, remember when she was talking about high value man and money doesn't make a man high value, but she's just gawking over the crap that he spent money on? And she's selling this to women. She's like, you know, if you swirl, you get one of these, like from a high value man, right?
That's so beautiful.
Stop
Oh my
talking like
God.
he's special. Now we're going to talk about Ash. She's very annoying to me. We know what the hell. She's an annoying human being. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that's like saying liver's not delicious to me? Like we know it's nasty to everybody. It is nasty to everybody. It's Boston baked beans is not good candy. Like to me, like it's like that to everybody. What's that called? Pleep? What's those marshmallow ducks called that they only sell during Easter? Nobody eats that shit. That's why they don't sell it throughout. I don't like it. This is nasty to me. You like that kid that says, broccoli is nasty to me. What the hell? What do you mean to you? This bitch is annoying to everybody. Peeps. Yeah, there we go. Peeps. She's annoying to everybody. And she's most annoying to the dude that she's with. Okay. You ate them because they're Easter and you're trained not to turn down candy. You don't love Peeps. Stop. You're just saying that to piss me off. You don't love Peeps.
It's so beautiful. Will you put it on my finger?
Sure. Beautiful and unique. Like you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Moment of truth. It fits. Look, guys. Look at this. I could cry. The most beautiful, beautiful promise ring anyone could ever possibly.
It's a promise ring. This is so spectacular. A 50-year-old woman getting a promise ring is a level of hilarity that cannot be matched. Living in a place with wallpaper. This is spectacular. This is spectacularly hilarious.
Want the intricacy of it, the details, the diamond. It's so beautiful.
Girl's best friend.
I will wear this forever. Somebody's gonna have to, if we're in New York City and somebody tries to rob me, I'm gonna sock them over the head with my Chanel purse.
Found to be very effective.
They're very sturdy purses. Even with a non-manicured hand, it's so beautiful. Thank you, baby, for being part of this vision. And so what the promise ring means to me, like I told you guys before, is that I'm going to do the work on myself so I can be the absolute best wife for Steven.
All right, yeah, work on psychotic and tell me how that. You're 51 years old. Like, what you think you'll be better by 71? I mean, okay. Anyway, says I actually have relatives married to well-off white men. None of them act like this. That's because they are not swirling. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's a difference between swirling and interracial dating, mating, and relating. There is a world of difference. Swirlers act like this. They're just like, okay, I married a guy of a different color.
Because that's what he deserves. And I know he's going to do the same thing for me. So here we are. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it was a good idea that we fused these rings together?
Well, somebody said, okay. By the way, it's not a coincidence that the rings fused together like that. She bought that ring for her damn self. Gave it to him to give to her. When she bought her pink pill ring, they said, this comes with another ring that can fuse to it. She's like, ooh, give me that, but make it a promise ring. So she bought the ring, gave it to him to give to her on the show. Somebody said that's her division championship ring, not conference championship ring. Certainly not Super Bowl. No, that's the ring that they gave you, for being in JV, winning the JV championship locally. It is not a good thing. Okay, so she has another video saying, why is Black love so hard? New study proves it. Okay, we're going to ignore that for a second. And I want to see what her videos was like say 6 months ago when she had a rotation. Because I get a stinking suspicion. That 6 months ago, she was taking whatever they got going on and pretending like this was a relationship. She took more videos down. That's what it is. I remember she was seeing some guy. And there was like monkeys involved or some crap like that. Like they had a pet monkey. I don't think it was even the same guy. Okay, yeah, she took those videos down with the monkeys. So apparently that was one of the guys in her rotation. They was playing it off like the happy couple, but yeah, in the end, it didn't work like all her other relationships. And now she's trying to figure out what to do. Let's see. 2 swirlers got dumped, and guess who's glad? Okay. Was it just me? Okay, here's 9 months ago, and she's with some Italian dude. But it seems like she just flirted with a couple of guys and got them on the show. All right. Anyway, let me get off this. Oh shit, was that? Oh yeah, I took it off. All right. Yeah, Peeps is not. That's not good candy. That is not good candy. Man, I did this a lot longer than I thought. Yeah, ha. But it was good. Yeah, ha, ha. So let me go back to the original topic. All right. It says, what swirlers don't want white men to know? I don't even have to conclude. Like, she basically just gave up everything. Like, that it's a ploy, that they're looking for people who are naive to their manipulation tactics. That's what they don't want you to know. That the women still divorced. They still fight. You know, they will still fight to take down the patriarchy, which means that if they try to take down the general patriarchy, they don't respect the patriarchy that is your household. They have issues, and there's a 50% chance that they're psychotic. That is a lot to take in. Oh, and Kristen Carrison had liposuction. So there is a lot. Hit the like button. There is a lot. There's a lot of reasons why people should not. Once again, I have family members who are interracially dating. I have female family members who are interracially dating and marrying, as well as male family members that are doing the same. It is not the same thing as swirling. Somebody says, now we are talking about liposuction. Well, I'm not really making it a conversation. I'm just stating that Crystal and Carrison had liposuction. Yeah, Crystal and Carrison had liposuction. And I just state that. And I know I haven't really stated it before, but I'm going to state it now. And that is Crystal and Carrison had liposuction. But it's not a conversation. It's just me saying that Crystal and Carrison had liposuction. That's it. So, all of this to show you that they code switch, and somebody said it in the chat room. They're code switching for white men, just like they did for black men. But black men are doing what it seems like this particular white man is doing. because I know I do it. If they switched, and let them switch and let the panties drop down. That's what I do. I know y'all can't see me, but there are those who have, and you can ask them. Those who have would probably agree that perhaps not by physical appearance am I a nerd, but definitely by the manner of dress, walk, and speech. It will become quite clear to you, to anybody that knows me, that I am a nerd and or square. And as such, women who are interested in me, of course, will code switch in order to meet what they perceive to be my desire. Now, the problem with that is this. Is that when I see through it, do I tell them immediately? No. I just play along. Especially now that I'm older, now that I'm in my 40s. I mean, this guy is probably in his 60s. Of course he knows a code switching bitch when he sees one. Like he's had employees that code switched. And before he was actually an employer, he had coworkers that code switched. People have been code switching for his white ass black women have been code switching for his white ass his whole life. You think he don't see a code switching bitch when he sees one? He don't know that? So he knows it. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna string this broad along. You know, like I said, if they switched, and let them switch and watch the panties drop down. Anyway, I would like to thank Ike OG Amin for the generous super chat. Greatly appreciate you, brother. And let me see if I can pronounce this brother's name properly. Akil. Thank you for the it was Ike that sent the super chat. Thank you for the Cash App. I'd like to thank the members. If you are not a member, consider becoming one. I put some of my best content there. This and the moderators, managers, those who are listening silently, those who participate in the chat. Hit the like button on your way out. GameChanger 000, GameChanger 00100. I've been doing this too long. Game over. Peace.